But my life is good. Really good. I get to wake up every morning at 5 a.m. and make some soup. It's the best. I love it. I get to lay in a bed by myself all of my life. It's fantastic.
You're playing music too loud, right to jail, right away. You're driving too fast, jail. Slow, jail. You're charging too high prices for sweaters, glasses. You right to jail.
Where's my burrito? Where's my burrito? Where's my burrito?
Oh!
Okay, I don't know. Whatever it is, it's not right on the teleprompter. I don't know what that is. I've never seen that.
No, there is. We are going to do Sting, yeah.
Okay, but yeah, I can't read it. There's no words on it.
Okay. Ready? Sure.
There's no words there. To play us out. What does that mean? To play us out.
Sting is going to do. It's a video. Sting video. Okay.
What is
for credits?
I don't know what that means. To play us out. What does that mean? To end the show?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, go.
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it.
Okay. In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. And we will leave you with a. I can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it, and we'll do it live.
Right.
Fucking thing sucks.
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks again for watching. We'll leave you with Sting and a cut off his new album. Take it away.
Do it! Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true! Just do it!
We obviously didn't communicate clearly. We're here to discuss your surrender, not mine.
Tú eres tan romántico molestando con una vipa. Me preguntas si te quiero, yo te digo que no estoy lista y no quiero comenzar. No hay nada que pensar, yo te dejaré atrás. Mientras gano más y más, no estás en mi nivel y tú no eres obligación. No estás motivada y tú aburres mi corazón. Eres un idiota sin inteligencia y razón. Entonces déjame tranquila mientras escriba tu canción. Tú eres tan romántico molestando con una vipa. Me preguntas si te quiero, yo te digo que no estoy lista y no quiero comenzar. No hay nada que pensar, yo te dejaré atrás. Mientras gano más y más, no estás en mi nivel y tú no eres obligación. No estás motivado corazón. Eres un idiota sin inteligencia y razón. Entonces déjame tranquila mientras escriba tu canción. Estoy aquí a disfrutar. Estoy aquí pero quiero gozar. Si quieres a mí pero vamos a bailar. Cintura a cintura, papi, tra, tra, tra. Bailando, gozando y me gusta tomar. Pero no quiero pendejos que no quieren respetar. Déjame pendejo, papi, ya no más. Déjame pendejo, papi, ya no más. Estoy aquí a disfrutar. Estoy aquí pero quiero gozar. Si quieres a mí pero vamos a bailar. Cintura a cintura, papi, tra, tra, tra. Bailando, gozando y me gusta tomar. Pero no quiero pendejos que no quieren respetar. Déjame pendejo, papi, ya no más. Déjame pendejo, papi, ya no más.
What is up, mi gente? It is your boy Luis Martinez, aka Big Chief Burrito, live with you on a Thursday. Mi Gente
Thursday.
show, live and alive on a Thursday from San Diego, California, Chula Vista, the Burrito Lounge, with my co-host Sofia Carrillo with the hood with the beanie on.
But the beanie is cold in San Diego. What is this weather?
Yeah, I was about to. I had my hoodie on, and I was like, "No, I can't do a hoodie." I have it standing by in case it does get cold. I mean, it looked like winter was over.
I know. Climate change. I don't like it. And then I have a cobija. I got my tea. I'm ready to go, you guys. I'm feeling a little better.
A little bit better. Yeah, you sound a little bit better. You look good. Yeah. What's up, Saka Channel? Thanks for stopping by. Dimitri for hanging out. Thank you everybody that's tuning in. Check in if you like. Obviously, as you see right there at the bottom, lurkers are welcome. You're always welcome to lurk. You can just leave this open it up on a tab.
Leave it there. Leave us talking to nothing.
Mute it. Check back later. Leave the like button. All that good stuff. Mi Gente Show available everywhere you get your podcast. Let's throw out them socials real quick.
Yeah.
At Mi Gente Show, literally everywhere.
All right.
Everywhere. So today, let's see. Any personal news, Sophia, before we get to our guests? Other than you're feeling a little bit better?
I'm feeling a little bit better. It's also kind of a sad day for me just because my little Cookie, she would have been quince. She would have been her quinceañera today. It's her birthday. I know. R.I.P. Cookie. R.I.P. Cookie. Everyone pour one out. Drink one for her. We were supposed to be partying today, but, you know, nature wanted otherwise. So, R.I.P.
Forever immortalized in our intro.
Absolutely.
Okay, personal news for me
what about you?
No, I mean, I guess dog related. My
how's also
he's okay. I give him a bath today. I'm adding some medication because German Shepherds, man, this is why you got to stop fucking breeding so many dogs, and kind of ties into what we're talking about today as well. But man, he was a Craigslist Shepherd, so it means he's been inbred, and so usually they don't have like hip and joint issues until they get older. But he's showing a couple of signs that he might have. So I'm going to have to up my care game and got him on some CBD, got him on some joint medication and some stuff like that. That's coming in the next couple of days because he's a little puppy and he plays around and he thinks he can fly. And then every other day he's showing up limping. And I'm like, I can't take you to the vet every 2 days, man. We ain't bothering like that.
That's up.
Once we get that Spotify Joe Rogan money, then for
there
sure.
You go.
Okay, I'll have a living, but as of right now, man, I got to take care of him. So, you know, as pet parents that we are,
yeah, it's hard. We need to start claiming dogs. I'm telling you, come on, in our taxes, we are parents to children.
Absolutely.
But
cut to the parents of kids rolling their eyes at us.
I know, just like, oh, these people. You have no idea what vet bills look like. Okay, they're expensive. If your child is on Medi-Cal, they are free.
That's a motherfucker. All right. So one of the let's get on to our main topic and our main guest, Latine Latinx spotlight for today. And one of the films that I saw as part of being a curator and selecting comedies for the San Diego Latino Film Festival this last year was called specific. You know, since we were talking about dogs, opened up with this scene of a dog. Actually, I'll show you. I have it right here.
Yeah.
I opened up with this sort of kind of triggering scene of a pit bull and a little puppy. And it was basically takes place in a universe where these guys are actually protecting animals from animal fighting. So after I got through that and I watched the film, it was really good blend of genres. It was a comedy, but it felt like it had a Western feel. It also had like an action kung fu feel. It blended them very seamlessly. Excuse me. And it was one of my favorite films that I got to program this year. So after meeting this director at the festival, we kept in touch and we wanted to feature him and talk a little bit about his life and his style of cinema.
Absolutely.
So the director of Chico and Rico, Animal Avengers, joins us this evening. Jose Montesinos, welcome to the street.
Welcome, Jose.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Doing well. Excited to have you.
Yeah, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
I'm not going to show the whole movie because I don't want us to get copyright claimed by our own guest. As
that's happened. It has happened before.
It's on YouTube, you know, for people to enjoy.
I'm gonna put the link to the film. Hey, what's up, Polly? Hey, it's Polly throwing some shade today, saying he loves Sophia, but me.
Love you, Polly.
That's how I feel too sometimes.
I love his new segment. He has a new segment called Macho Minute. I love that. Have you seen it? So good. Yeah. Anyway, love Polly. Shout out.
Shout out, Polly. So I put the link to the movie here in the stream so people can watch it and subscribe to Baby Llama Pictures. But let's jump right into it, Jose. I mean, from bending genres to getting into different sort of film styles and techniques. How long have you been making movies? And was this always a passion? Was it something you realized you had a sort of a gift for later on in life, or what was kind of like the genesis of these types of movies?
Oh, wow. So, I mean, yeah, I think I was maybe 10 or 11 when I realized I really wanted to make movies. And back then it was the 80s. So, you couldn't just grab a phone or whatever and make a movie, getting a video camera was like a big deal. So I had a buddy in an acting class and his parents had a video camera. So he was making videos. And so I kind of jumped on with him and then started making videos with him. And eventually I finagled, a parent to, get me a video camera when I was 14. And I just started making nonstop videos and movies. And basically back then it was all about just trying to emulate all the movies that I grew up liking, And I just did that. I kind of learned by doing. But then, el teléfono.
Oh, I know. Continue.
So like I did go to City College in San Francisco film department for a couple of years when I was like 19, but by then I'd already made like a bunch of shorts and stupid music videos and just ridiculous silly things. And so I kind of had a leg up on everybody else. I just didn't know the technical aspect. Back then it was still film. This was the early 90s. It was like 91, 92, so it was still learning on 8mm film, 16mm film, sound on a Nagra, and then through the 90s, I just kept doing it. I don't know what I thought I was going to do. I just kept thinking, I want to make another movie. I want to make another movie. And we did it just guerrilla with our friends, video cameras. We just didn't think about it. We didn't think, oh, we got to make something that we have to sell. We just kept making stuff that we wanted to make. And then it wasn't until 99 when I was 26 that we finally made like a feature film that we did something with. And to this day, it still remains one of my favorite things that I've ever done. But it's kind of like it only exists on DVD and VHS.
You're sort of dating yourself over here.
Oh, hey, I have no shame. I'm gonna be 50 on Sunday, so
okay.
It's a big.
Hey, happy birthday!
Yeah, thank you.
All right, happy birthday. Well, we're not Sophia. She's a young kitten. But yeah, I'll be 46 here in about 10 days. So
wow. Oh, hey man, we're pretty.
April is full of birthdays.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are the chances? 6 billion people, 365 days, Sophia. I mean, it's 12 months. 12 months.
What are the odds that I would be?
What are the odds? So
it's cool.
So you grew up in I remember myself. I grew up where you still had to use the first Avid machine I saw was in college, and it was the size of my house,
Yeah.
And then and then early on afterwards you were going to be able to start editing on your laptop or on your PC and stuff like that. So where do you feel your career would be if you had started with some of these, with all of these advantages that filmmakers have today, that they can literally just take their phone out of their pocket and have a 4K camera?
That's really impossible to say. I thought about that because like the thing that's weird about that is, I'm glad that all my early stuff is never going to be seen by anybody because most of it was not very good. And so I'm glad I had those years and years of, doing. Are we allowed to curse on here or no?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. Because I'm trying to edit myself, but it was shit. It was, so I'm glad I had all those years to get all that shit out. And eventually, like, it took me a while to start building like where I was kind of like focused, like what I wanted to do and taking it seriously as opposed to just having fun with it. And so I don't know if it would have been a good thing or a bad thing if I had a YouTube channel when I was 14. I don't know. I kind of shudder to think.
Yeah. So you're a writer, director, actor. You kind of do it all. Which one started first? Which one came first?
Oh, acting. I thought I wanted to be an actor. Yeah, yeah. I really thought that. I took acting classes from a really young age, and I thought that's what I wanted to do. But then I just realized that what I really wanted to do was create the scenarios to act in. And so I wanted to control it. So I wanted to be everything: writer, director, actor, editor. You know.
Did that come about because there was a lack of opportunity, or was it just more so something natural that you wanted to become a writer?
I didn't really think about the lack of opportunity because I was too busy just doing stuff. Like I thought, this is great. We have a video camera. We don't have to wait around. We can just make our own stuff. Not really thinking about the fact that no one's going to watch these VHS videos, you know. But when I did, the very few times that I did, you know, try to act in the world, yeah. I mean, I was on like Nash Bridges is like twice. I was on Nash Bridges twice, and both times I was some kind of criminal. One time in a suit, and one time looking like a gang member.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. You know, and I really never, you know, it was funny because I never thought about this kind of stuff, but now in hindsight, I'm like, yeah, you know, I guess I just never really, I didn't trip on it. I just was kind of like, this is just how it is. Like, you know, I'm never going to get the chance to do anything. So that's why I think that fueled me to just keep making my own stuff, you know?
Yeah. That's
nice.
awesome.
Taking
initiative.
Latina says, saludos to Jose. Keep on creating. Absolutely.
Yes.
Will do.
So you decided you want to do it all. You want to create. You want to do that. And then, you know, you're in the game, but you're also, I mean, you've had to sort of have a day job during this time, or have you been able to sort of survive off of this?
I mean, again, like, so I get
like many creatives.
Yeah. So I'm technically like now a working filmmaker. I get hired to, I don't know if you saw any of the demo reels or anything, but I make a lot of TV movies and stuff like that. So I technically work now, but before, like if we're talking through my 20s and 30s, I always had to have some kind of job. I mean, you name the job, I've probably done it, you know? But towards the end there in my late 20s and 30s, I was kind of doing like videotaping legal depositions. You guys know what that is? You know, just, you know, when people have legal depositions, I was the videographer.
Soulless corporate world. We've all been there.
Yeah. So I was doing that. And then another side job that I was doing that I actually really enjoyed was I was a standardized patient. You guys know what that is?
No. What is that?
So it's basically, it's sort of it is an acting job where they basically hire actors to play patients for medical students. And medical students have to go through the process.
You have
they have to like,
act
you know,
out the scenarios. Like
so
the
they give you
like the Seinfeld episode.
Yes, exactly. So they give you a case and you have to know all the symptoms and know how to answer the questions. And then they have to kind of, and they think they're being graded on trying to figure out what's wrong with you. But really what they're being graded on is how they treat you, how they make you feel. And they make you feel comfortable and stuff. It's actually a really great job, and I always thought,
is it a well-paid job? Because I'm about to apply here.
It actually is not bad. The only problem with it is it's so infrequent, so it's really hard to live off of it. But I was doing that for a while and enjoying that part-time, and so yes, it wasn't only until I moved to LA that I became like full-time movie guy.
Nice. Wait, so what's your life geography like? I know you mentioned San Francisco and now LA.
Yeah, born and raised in San Francisco.
Okay.
And then I didn't move to LA until very end of 2015.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, when I was 42. So I took that long to get here. I did not want to move to LA. I really didn't want to move to LA. I just never liked it. I always thought it was so sparse and vapid and too hot.
You know, I know I'm debating as well. I'm in that moment where I'm like, should I move to LA? I've been putting it off for 5 years already. I'm like, oh.
You're in San Diego, right?
I'm in San Diego, yeah.
San Diego is beautiful. Do you know how many of us talk about how much we want to move to San Diego?
Don't do it. There's enough people here, please. No,
listen, San Diego is like just an extended suburb of LA. Like really, if I
so
have
much more pretty.
I'll say,
come on, guys.
No, I know. But if for example, let's say me and you're gonna work on something, and then you're like, yeah, let's meet up on Friday to talk about it. And you're like, let's meet in, North Hollywood at noon. All I got to do is leave here by 7 in the morning, and you have to leave. You have to leave your house by like 9 in the morning. So it doesn't make that big of a difference because you're still gonna hit traffic. I mean, you can fake it till you make it from SD.
The thing is, you say that, but then also like you got to think about like casting. Like sometimes you get a message and you're like, tomorrow morning, be on set at this or whatever. Like when you're scraping by to be an actor, so it's kind of like I can't. Can't be doing that.
It's true, but at the same time, I got to tell you, like the last movie I actually shot in LA was in 2020.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm. So most of the movies I'm shooting are like in Georgia, Florida, Oklahoma, everywhere but LA.
Ooh, so where should I move, Jose? Help us sister out. Where do I?
No,
move?
I mean, look,
Vancouver or Georgia.
I mean, Atlanta's doing really well. I mean, everything I hear about Atlanta, and I was just there. I just made a movie in Georgia, and the crews are really great. They're getting a lot of work out there, so it's not a bad option. But you're in San Diego. LA would make way more sense for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's grown on me. Obviously, I've been here now like almost 7 years. So there are things about it I like. I live in Burbank, which is definitely different than the rest of LA, and I like it.
I got my eye on Burbank actually. I got my eye on the outskirts. Yeah, for sure.
It's pretty. It's peaceful. It's chill. The only problem is it gets fucking hot.
Really?
In the summer. Oh yeah, it can get. When we shot Chico Rico, that was not in Burbank. That was like a little bit outside of Burbank, but still along the same lines. And when we were shooting those scenes, it was like 110 degrees.
What the hell? Because it looked really freaking hot, and you were layered, like with leather. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about Chico and Rico. First of all, my first question goes about the dogs. How did you get the dogs, and are they trained, and how do they just act so well? They're so cute.
Oh yeah. So the dogs was a stroke of just luck. A buddy of mine, he was kind of co-producer on it, and he had befriended this woman who runs an actual rescue, and it's I believe it's called K911. K now I got to figure out I got to find the name because I think it'd be great to promote them because they're great. I'll look it up in a second. But so they actually rescue animals like this. They actually do what Chico and Rico do, like for real. Aww. And so those dogs were rescues, and they had one that I said, well, we need one that looks really mean, but isn't mean. And they said, oh, we got this one that we're working with right now. Her name is Little Bit. She's super sweet, but she looks like a tough dog. And I was like, okay, well, and so it was just a big gamble. Like, are we going to, these not trained movie dogs, are they going to work out? And the Beagle was way more of a wild card than the Pit was. The Beagle was just wanted to play, couldn't sit still. Yeah. So when you see it tied up, it's actually not scared at all. It's just anxious it wants to be let go so it can play. Yeah. So I had to add in all the sounds and edit just the right moments so it looked like it was retreating and being scared. And we just got really lucky. And with Little Bit gave like a masterful performance. I just had to replace her voice with that of a dark, meaner, angrier dog bark because her bark was lighter.
You can't. The thing about pit bulls is that they're not naturally angry and aggressive. So even though you got a great performance out of her, you can. Me as a person with 2 red-nosed pit bulls can just see that in the back the tail is just like,
ragged. Yeah, that was the first thing you said.
The tail's betraying him. Like the dog's like, yeah, I'm such a mean dog, but meanwhile it's like,
He's like, it's true. It's true. She was a sweetheart, but she was dangerous for other dogs. Okay. And they were training her to be better with other dogs. She loved people, but she had a problem with other dogs. So we had to be careful not to get her and the Beagle too close together. But she never showed any signs of aggression that I saw. But
that's what we call method acting.
Yeah.
One of the things that I did want to talk to you about is, in terms of like your film style, not necessarily your influences, but more the genre bending of adding multiple genres to this film in particular. When you were coming up with the concept, was it a matter of like an independent filmmaking where you're like, hey, we know these really cool stunt people and we have this idea for this, let's incorporate all of it? Or was it always going to be a concept of a comedy with these Western sort of influences, homages, and this kick-ass kung fu fighting situation?
It's a hard question to answer really simply. Well, see, so the thing is, about 22 years ago, I met Dennis Rule, and that's the guy who plays Chico. He's also the guy who choreographs, the fighting. So he was making martial arts movies with his friends in the same way that I was making I was making action comedies, but I didn't have the kind of martial arts skills that he had and his friends had, because they were actually martial artists making martial arts movies. And we became friends and kept saying how we needed to work together. So through the years, our dynamic had always kind of revolved around action and comedy. We both like action and comedy. We both love movies like Lethal Weapon and Die Hard. And, he grew up watching all the Jackie Chan movies, and Die Hard was one of my favorite movies. And that kind of blend of action with comedy. And I love Roadhouse. That's one of my favorite movies. And so, we kind of found like a middle ground of like a sort of vibe. So like we tried it in different ways. We made this adventure movie. We did this thing called Sensitive 70s, which I sent you the link to. And then Chico Rico was sort of like I've always loved Westerns. And it was sort of like it just all kind of sort of through the years kind of became that. It just kind of turned into that. Like, oh, what if we made a spaghetti Western Latino cowboy rescue animals featuring martial arts comedy action movie? You know what I mean? It just kind of turned into that over time. And because we've been talking about this idea for years before we finally made that proof of concept. But we didn't know if it was going to work. The whole point of the proof of concept was to see if it would work. Like, would we look ridiculous in those outfits? Would it just be stupid? Like all that stuff. We had to figure it out. So that proof of concept was like, oh my God, it works. And we have like a pilot written. We have like a whole series mapped out that we want to get made. They have a mascot chicken named Pollo Bravo that's supposed to be in it. That's always hanging out with them. There's a lot more to the story. We flash back to them as kids with their mother who raised them. Like there's all these things that happen in the series or in the movie that we couldn't do. The proof of concept was literally just pulling together resources.
Awesome, man. That's a great way to get shit done. I mean, as an independent filmmaker at your core, you have to be you could dream pie in the sky. You could wish for what you don't have. You can get lucky and get $500,000 because your daddy knows somebody at the studio, or something like that. Or you can write to your strengths. And one of the things that we've always done as indie filmmakers is write to what's available to. That's one of the biggest things I always tell filmmakers. Look at the resources that you have. You might have an uncle that has a bodega. You might have an aunt that works on a chicken farm. You might have an uncle with some property in Utah. You have some family in Hawaii, blah, 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 all these other things. People that are cool with you that do stunts, et cetera, et cetera. Write to your resources and make the best possible movie or concept that you can. So the ultimate goal for Chico and Rico is to get in a room, pitch them get your pitch deck going and get this made into a series, right?
That would be, either a series or I'm also developing it as a low budget feature in case that's the route we have to try to go, because that might be easier to do independently if we had to than a series. But it was originally designed to be a series. We thought it'd be great as like a Cobra Kai type series. Like each episode is somewhere between 25 to 35 minutes, depending on the storyline. And then like each episode is self-contained, but at the same time, there's one through line going through all of it. That's kind of there's one big arc. But and I have it all mapped out. So, but that is the goal. And I was gonna say though, Luis, your description is I call that the Robert Rodriguez School of Filmmaking, because I'm sure you read the Rebel Without a Crew book, yeah?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So like that was the whole thing. It's like he was right. Like just whatever you got around you, like go. Oh, I have this. I'll make a movie that features that.
We're from similar schools, like I would assume, of filmmaking, because like I said, when I went to film school, I felt like I was learning an outdated science, because I was learning how to cut and splice and edit on this giant Avid machine, and I was reading the trades, and it was like, in a year you'll be able to do nonlinear editing and you'll be able to do this, and it was all these things where we had to sort and stick things into the Avid machine and name it and then categorize it and do all these things to be able to do what you can do now just by dropping your video onto a timeline in Premiere. So, you know, once I figured out I was learning like an outdated skill set, I dropped out and then I retaught myself everything later on. So definitely, we're definitely from that school of like indie filmmakers, you know, almost mumblecore with our first few films, etc. So we're definitely seen. Mello, thanks for stopping by. She says, "Viva Chico and Rico." She was at the festival. Mello. She had a fun. It was very well received at the festival. What did that mean to you in terms of obviously it was a very easy, I'm not gonna, you know, sit here and give myself credit for screening the film. It was a very easy decision. I was looking for comedies. It was funny. It had pit bulls in it. It was Latino made and it was, you know, a good representation. But what did it feel to have it screen in front of that audience, to get a little bit of acceptance? I always say day one, shot one is the best feeling as a filmmaker, when you edit the final cut or when you get to see it in front of an audience. So what was that part of it like for you?
Oh, that was amazing. Like it was so like, because I had just gotten back from Georgia literally the day before after being 2 months living in a hotel working on a film. I was exhausted. Wow. But I was like, I have to go. I got to go. I can't not go, you know? And Dennis was supposed to come and he got sick. So I was going to be rolling solo. I knew a couple of people that live out in San Diego now, so they were going to come out, but that was it. So I was like, I'm just going. So the opportunity, what I wanted was the opportunity to see it with an audience of people that didn't know me. That was the whole thing. So that's all I want. I just want to see an honest reaction from people that don't know me. And I got that times 1,000, because not only was your audience, it was a big audience and it was packed. You know, it was packed. And the screen was huge and it looked amazing and it sounded even better. And the reactions were more than I could have hoped for. Like I almost cried. I was like, when we first kicked the door down and everyone just started cheering, I was just like, oh man, this is working. It was awesome. And everyone was laughing and clapping and it was the best feeling ever. And I was really bummed that no one else from our crew could have been a part of that, especially Dennis. He would have loved it. Because it's really, you know, part of the reason you live for that. You live for people to have a great reaction to something that you've done, you know?
One of the things, I didn't mean to cut you off there. Go ahead.
No, I'm done.
One of the things that I always kind of take a look at, especially with comedies, and when I get to watch my films in front of an audience, is catching things that you thought were just regular, but that the audience reacts to with like a laugh. Yeah. Did you catch any of that? Was there any like reactions that surprised you besides the door kicking in, sort of that moment? But the thing about that audience is that it was very communal and everybody was very engaged. Like from the minute people were like hooping and hollering when the screen would like expand.
Yeah. Like, ooh, that was hilarious.
Widescreen.
It was a very communal experience.
Yeah.
You know,
it was a great honor. I mean, that's what's great about film festivals in general, though. They're usually full of people that want to watch films, that love films.
Yeah.
Well, but were you surprised by any reaction, or have you been surprised by something that happened that you didn't necessarily think was a joke, but that people thought was funny or anything like that?
Not in that audience, you know, except for the door crashing down. In that audience, everyone seemed to kind of laugh at all the parts that I was hoping they'd laugh at. And I'm trying to think if there's anything surprised me. I can't remember. I was so elated just by the door crashing down. I think I was riding that high for like the next couple of minutes.
Right.
But I mean, there's been times with other people that have seen it that have pointed things out where I've been like, really? So, yeah.
Are you in talks about making this a show or a feature? Are there any talks about that in the near future?
I mean, of course, we're always trying to push that, and we've gotten it in front of some pretty big people who have enjoyed it. But you know how these things often go. They're like, oh, that's great. We're not really looking at something like that right now, but you know, if I think of somebody who would, you know, you get that kind of runaround, or, oh, hey, we're going to send it to so-and-so and see what so-and-so says, or, hey, I know someone who works at HBO, we're going to show it to them. And there's been a lot of that kind of run around, you know, and it's like with anything, you know, like it could be nothing, but it just takes that one right person to go, oh, this is something, you know, I want to do something with. It's just that one right person. And I'm still just waiting for that one right person. And it's also like the temperature of the what's going on in the world right now. Like what what is everybody into right now? Like, you know, and unfortunately, you know, the movie business runs in trends and waves, and if you're not on it, it doesn't matter how cool your thing is. If people don't, you know, because I've had people tell me a million times over, like, this would be such a great show. I would totally watch it. I love it. It's great. But it doesn't matter if the zeitgeist isn't there, if they don't agree. So like, if everybody's like riding the wave of, you know, everybody right now is into things like The Last of Us and you know, Mandalorian and things like that.
They're like, we love it, but could you add some horror?
It needs some Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, or it needs some superhero powers or something.
Yeah,
you know, I don't know.
Avengers is right there in the title, man. Come on.
Yeah, I know. Well, I did that on purpose. I was like, I kept trying to think, what would they be? Chico and Rico, you know, creature, you know, pet defenders, pet protectors. I was thinking of all these things I could say, and animal Avengers just seemed right. I go, well, you know, it's 2 A's, so in the alphabet it'll show up quicker, and it has Avengers in it. Maybe they are sort of superheroes, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to hear or learn about, you know, their backstory. Like, did something happen in their formative years that gave them this sort of disability?
There's a John Wick situation going on there.
Are they related to like Ace Ventura somehow, where they get their pet powers? You know, like, you know, listen, we get a Jim Carrey. Listen, once you get that 12 episode deal, you hit me up. I'll direct like episode 8 or 9, something, you know, something in between major plot points. We'll do like a backstory episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
You bring us in the room. We'll figure that out.
Okay.
What is the ultimate goal in terms of, like, you know, what if you had to pick sort of your role as a writer, as an actor, a showrunner? What do you think your final form is in terms of Hollywood?
Oh man, that's a good question. You know, I've been thinking about this a lot, actually. You know, ultimately, I think I'd like to be a creative producer. I think at the end of the day, as I get older and more tired and sick of people's shit, I feel like it'd be great to be the person that, like, you know, helps develop the idea, has a creative idea, you know, oversees a script, maybe even writes a draft, you know, picks the directors with the projects, you know, and then oversees it, and just kind of like, you know,
like a showrunner, basically.
I mean, you know, or like, you know, Spielberg to Zemeckis on Back to the Future, you know, because that kind of thing.
At the indie level, you know, obviously, you know this. At the indie level, if you're the director, you're creator, you're also the producer, you're also the editor in a lot of cases and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What I found a lot is, and I've sort of fought back against this, but I'm not doing it so much, is that you know, because I've produced everything that we've made because I had to, because we were the producers, directors, we produced features, etc., short films, and I used to take it as an insult. They're like, "Oh, you'd be a really good just producer," and I'd be like, but then I wouldn't get to write and say, I wouldn't get to have the written and directed by thing that you know, and things like that. So do you ever have to, like, sort of have that conversation with yourself? I love doing these things, but my skill set or what I'm best at might be this.
Yeah, I mean, in a sense, I think that what I really do best is being on set and being a you know, filmmaker. Just, you know, doing the directing, the coming up with the ideas for shots and the, you know, that stuff. I think that's actually what I do best at, because I like editing. I'm a pretty good editor, but I don't love it. I enjoy it. It's when the movie comes to life. And sometimes I'll do side gigs just editing other movies for money. But I don't love that. What I love about it is you work from home, you make your own schedule. I mean, that's what I love about it. But and also, you know, see the movie come together. But, you know, it's technical, and you got to, like, people are barking at you, and it's kind of obnoxious sometimes. But I think as I get older and I let go of this idea that, you know, I have to have, you know, written and directed by on the screen all the time, I feel like being able to have say in how the movie goes, but not have to be the one doing all the grunt work, and then get to be up on the beach and people call me and go, "Hey, Jose, just do this," and then I hang up, and then
Yeah.
You know, that idea becomes more and more appealing to me as time goes on. You know, but I would be a nice executive producer. I would be like a creative one. I'd be helpful. I want the movies to be good, and I wouldn't want to be the way a lot of the people that I've had to deal with are, where they don't care. It's just the bottom line, you know?
Yeah.
So I think I answered your question, but like, I mean, I still want to make, how about this, Luis? I still want to make I want to make at least one undeniably good movie. I want to make one really undeniably good movie. And when I say undeniably good, I mean, not everyone's going to like it because not everybody likes everything. But I just mean, it's just, I did what I could and it's as good as it can be for what it's trying to be. And all the pieces are there, cinematography, sound, music, acting, writing, it's all there. And people watch it and go, that was great. I would love to have one, you know?
Do you have that in mind of what that one is going to be?
I have a couple of ideas of what it could be, but I don't know. And it could be a feature version of Chico Rico. I mean, you know, it could be that. It could be the series. It could be I have an idea for a werewolf movie, you know. I have an idea for a Western, you know. It could be one of those, or, you know. So that's, you know, what I would love to do before I leave that what do you call it? Leave that category of where I'm at. Then I'd feel good about getting old and dying.
You're like, then I'd be ready.
Yeah.
All right, cool. That's awesome. I'm really excited to see where your career takes you. I feel like I did watch all your reels and you are incredibly layered. Like, you have a drama thriller, you have a comedy and action. It's like, you've done so much. One of the main questions is like, you do the fighting in this film and in all of your other films. It was so seamless and so good. Like, are you formally trained?
So yes, but not to the degree that, say, that Dennis and a lot of those other guys who are in the movies that you see, the stunt guys, those guys are like, they dedicated a big chunk of their lives to martial arts. So I don't want to take away and say I'm anywhere near where they're at. But since I was a kid, I have trained. I've done different styles. I've done Muay Thai. I've done karate. I've done jiu-jitsu. I've done boxing. I've dabbled in all of it, you know, throughout my life. And in times of my life, I was taking it pretty seriously, but not, again, I was never dedicated, disciplined the way these other guys are. So I do have that background. That's why, you know, I can move, but I certainly can't do what like Dennis and those guys do, you know?
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Were you a stunt guy at any point in your career?
No.
No.
I don't even like falling on the ground. I'm like, oh, my back,
Like,
you know.
paper cut. Oh no.
Yeah. I've done it, you know, for the movies I've done. I've had to do falls and rolls, and I can do that stuff, but I don't. Nah, I'm not.
Did you make sure that none of the stunts that you had to do for this movie had you do anything too crazy?
Well, here's the thing. So, Rico, if you watch like the Rico style of fighting in the short, it was born of two things: character and pain. So I have a chronic pinched nerve in my neck, and it flares up every once in a while. And when it flares up, it's really bad. So I had to come up with a fighting style that wouldn't aggravate that, but also would. So I decided, what if Rico has a very stoic kind of like, you know, staccato way of fighting to contrast Chico's very fluid, spinny, fancy, more dynamic form of fighting. We could be a contrast, and visually it would work. And then, so it was kind of born of that. So that's why Rico fights that way. So yes, I sort of designed it that I didn't have to like totally like hurt myself. However, in the feature script, Rico gets the shit kicked out of him and has to take all kinds of falls and hits. So there's that.
But you're gonna cast somebody for that, right? At that point,
yeah.
Or do you want to still be like, you could be like a mentor?
It all depends. It really all depends. I'm open to both. I've kind of like decided wherever fate takes us. If fate decides that there's another actor that would be better suited at the time we do it for all kinds of reasons, I don't mind just being behind the camera. I really don't. But if for whatever reason it kind of flows and it makes sense for me to do it, I'll do it. You know, I think it's a character. It's one of the few characters. I don't act anymore, but it's one of the few characters I would do it for.
Yeah, you should. I liked Ozurko.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, but we don't want him to throw his back out.
I got a few more
Get
years
it
in me,
done,
dude.
double. We'll make it
Don't-
work. It's
Don't
Hollywood,
write me off
baby.
yet. I got a few more years.
I'm just saying, Listen, we are live here talking with Jose Montesinos of Rico and Chico Animal Adventures. I put the link to the film in the chat. I will relink it as well so that people can watch it. Make sure you guys go sub to. Talk to me about Baby Llama. Where did that come from? Because as our company is called 2 a.m. Burrito, I am drawn to companies with weird names. As Alexandra joins us from Centro America. Hi, Alexandra. Thank you for joining us.
Hello. Big Chief Burrito. I love that.
Where did
2
Baby
a.m.
Llama
burrito,
come?
you said, right? 2 a.m. burrito?
Yeah, it's a time and a place. It's a San Diego thing.
No, I get it. After getting out of the club, you're hungry. I got you.
Yeah.
So Baby Llama, that's a funny story. So I got a really old friend who I know actually from film school back in the early 90s, who I'm still friends with. His name is Miguel. And he used to tell me stories about growing up in San Francisco in the hood when he was, he's like a decade older than me. So he's a generation ahead. So he would tell me all the stories about like the cholos and all that stuff. And they all had nicknames for each other. And his nickname was Big Time Emmett. He was big time because his father owned a butcher shop. So they would call him, "Oh, you're big time, Holmes." He's like, "Oh, I'm Big Time Emmett," But he had a buddy named Baby Llama. And I don't know why he was called Baby Llama, but that was his buddy's name, Baby Llama. And I thought, oh my God, I love that, Baby Llama. And it just stuck with me through the years of like, one of these days I'm going to do something with Baby Llama, And then when I decided to make an LLC, I went, what if I called it Baby Llama Pictures?
That's awesome.
Because it has a double meaning, right? It's like pictures of baby llamas, but it's Baby Llama Pictures. So, and I love llamas, and my father's Peruvian. It just made sense.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how that happened. So,
Peruano.
Yeah, my father's Peruano. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Are you full Peruvian or?
No, my father was from El Salvador.
Salvadorian Peruvian. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you? What about you guys?
Full Mexican.
Full in both?
No.
No. I'm Colombo Uruguayo. Colombia, Uruguay.
Nice. Yeah. Uruguay. That's close to Peru.
Yeah. No, I've my father was a musician, and sorry. So I've actually lived in Peru and traveled up and down from
no way.
Uruguay to Colombia back when I was a young kid. So I am familiar.
That's great.
And also my youth soccer team when I was playing in Queens in New York in the 80s was called Inca Peru because we had Inca Cola as our sponsor.
Nice. So, I love me an Inca Cola.
Yeah, that's underrated. If you find yourself a nice cold Inca Cola, do that. There's actually some pretty good Peruvian restaurants in San Diego. Actually.
Are there?
Yeah,
okay.
There's a couple of really high-rated Peruvian restaurants. Next time you're in town, man, we're gonna.
I just went to a Peruvian place called Puerto 27 in the Bay Area because I went to visit my family and stuff, and I had ají de gallina. It was pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah.
We are live, guys, talking with Mr. Jose Montesinos. His film Chico and Rico Animal Avengers was a big hit at the festival this year. Make sure that you check out the link and check it out. Follow him. You can also follow him on Instagram. We tagged him in our post today, so you can go find him. Baby Llama Pictures, etc., expecting big things coming out of him in the coming years. So Sophia, did you have anything else before we get to our bit with our guests?
We have a bracket bit. No, I think we can jump into it.
We can jump. We do have a bracket.
Let's do it.
All right. And then I think Rosa's going to be joining us in a little bit, and then we'll let you go. We know we wanted to get out of here like around 8 p.m.
Yeah, I can hang for a little bit.
You're good.
If it goes a little over, I can go a little like maybe 8:15.
Yeah, good. That's what we like to. That's what we like to hear. Like to hear. I can't quit you. That's what the people say. All right, but the thing about the bracket bit is I put it here somewhere. And
what is that? What is a bracket bit? What are you guys talking about?
You're gonna know.
You will find out, Jose.
All right, guys. I have to go to our branding here. Give me 1 second. We're gonna change the branding here.
All right.
Jose, we like to do something with our guests. Rosa is joining us in a couple of seconds. Actually, Rosa, let me see. We'll bring Rosa on while we're doing this, guys. Rosa Parra is our brand new entertainment correspondent. She is an official member of the Mi Gente Show crew. She is a movie reviewer. She's a movie reviewer for Rotten Tomatoes. You can find her on Twitter at Rosa Reviews, and you can find her on the Daily Chela doing reviews of films and doing all kinds of content. So before we get to our bracket bit with Jose, let's bring Rosa on. What's up, Rosa?
Rosa.
Hey.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Rosa, did you get a chance? Did you get a chance to watch the film earlier today that we talked about?
I did. Yes, I watched it a couple hours ago and quite enjoyed it. Thank you so much for sending it over.
So Jose,
yeah,
because Rosa is our official movie reviewer and entertainment, Rosa will now give us a quick review of your film live.
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
Wow.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Do I want to win and hide?
Take it away, Rosa.
Oh my, the pressure now.
Yeah.
You know what? If I'm being completely honest, which I always am, I ended the film thinking Jose should be directing the prequels to the John Wick franchise. We just saw a trailer for like the Continental and all that, and yeah, we know we're gonna get other franchises out there that are gonna be in the same world as John Wick. This is wonderfully directed. All these action sequences are great. Definitely like top tier level. So I'm like, you know what? I can see him directing one of those prequels or whatever they decide to make. So that's my 2 cents.
Wow, hey, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That's like Nick Cage would say, that's high praise.
That's high praise. That's high praise. Don't silence me, haircut. All right. All right. Thank you, Rosa, for stopping by. No. Bye, Rosa. No, I'm just kidding. Rosa's gonna be hanging around with us. Rosa's gonna be hanging around with us, but Rosa, you're just in time because we're about to put Mr. Jose through something that we like to call. Wait for it.
All right, boys and girls, you know what that sound means. It's time for bracket bit. Bracket bit. Bracket bit. Woo, 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 woo. Bracket bit. Bracket bit. Woo, 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 woo.
Fireside chat.
That is right. The bracket bit. It is
What
time.
did I just see?
You have no idea.
Well, I wanted to make a bit called the bracket bit, and I told my friend that I needed a song for it, and he's like, "What do you want it to sound like?" So I recorded that in one take, and I sent it off, and that's what they gave me. So we're doing it. The bracket bit is something. It's a tournament bracket where I'm going to give you 2 choices, and you give me one that moves on to the next round. So it's basically like the NCAA. For you, since you made a movie that blends action and it also has a lot of Western influences, your bracket bit is going to be Westerns versus fight movies. So I'm going to give you 2 different films. One of them will be a Western. One of them is going to be a fight, kung fu, or action movie. And you tell me which one moves on to the next round. Now you can pick whichever one's your favorite, whichever one you'd like to direct the remake of, or whatever. All that we ask you is that you try to keep the same methodology throughout the entire bracket. All right, you ready?
Well, okay. Okay. My head just exploded. All right.
Mind blown. I'm going to give you 2 things. You tell me which one moves on. All right, you ready?
All right. Yep.
All right. We got Unforgiven, or we got the Bourne trilogy.
Oh, Unforgiven.
All right, Unforgiven. We got Rio Bravo or Raging Bull.
Got to go with Raging Bull.
We have Dead Man or Karate Kid.
Ooh. Karate Kid.
And if you ever, and we didn't talk a lot about movies or influences. So if one of these films that we're talking about is like, that you'd like to expand on, this is a time when you can say whatever you want.
Okay. Well, now Karate Kid is just how can you? Karate Kid is just a staple of my childhood.
It's iconic,
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We got The Outlaw Josie Wales or Rocky.
Oh, you're killing me, man.
This is where I remind you that the bracket bit is created to cause maximum pain.
Yes, it's doing a good job. I gotta go Rocky because again, just like childhood influence.
Outlaw Josie Wales, a classic.
It is.
Listen.
I love that movie, but Rocky is that's just my life has got so much of Rocky tied up into it.
All right, Legends of the Fall or Warrior.
Oh, huh. Warrior's the one with Tom Hardy, yeah?
Yeah.
That's an interesting choice because I really like Nick Nolte in that movie. But Legends of the Fall was really epic.
Grand scale.
Grand
big
scale.
scale.
Yeah, and it was dramatic, and it was like, it was kind of like a drama western. It was, Brad Pitt's hair was epic.
Peak Brad Pitt at his dreamiest.
It's true. It's true. I have to say Legends of the Fall. It's got Anthony Hopkins in it,
Yeah, absolutely. No wrong choices there. Red River or The Wrestler?
The Wrestler.
Tombstone or IP Man?
Oh, Ip Man. Ip Man's cool. That's Donnie Yen. I got to go with Tombstone, though. That's more part of my youth.
All right. We got The Raid or High Noon?
Oh. I'm going to go with The Raid because even though like I have problems with that movie, but what The Raid managed to do for martial arts cinema in the American, culture was very, very helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what I would put in here is the scene from damn it, I forgot the movie right now. Spike Lee remade it and he shouldn't have.
Oh, Old Boy.
Old Boy, the original Old Boy, the original those fighting scenes were actually pretty.
Oh
pretty
yeah,
good.
Oh man, that changed my life.
That's a sequence. All right, we got True Grit, the original and the remake playing together, or Rumble in the Bronx.
Oh, that's tough because Rumble in the Bronx was Jackie Chan's first movie here in America, and that meant a lot back when it happened.
Oh.
But the True Grit, old and new, I mean, they're just classic Western stories that are both great in their own way, both versions. But I'm going to go with Rumble in the Bronx because I think that had more of a direct effect on my life.
Magnificent Seven or Enter the Dragon?
Enter the Dragon. I was a huge Bruce Lee fan when I was a kid, and I was obsessed with that movie.
3:10 to Yuma or Legend of Drunken Master?
So I don't know which one Dennis would pick, but I got to do 3:10 to Yuma because that's one of my favorite Westerns.
Drunken Master is such a classic, though.
It is, but 3:10 to Yuma is dope as hell. It's such a great.
You already got some Jackie Chan up here, but that was new Jackie Chan versus classic Chan. So.
I got Jackie Chan and Enter the Dragon.
All right. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, or Never Back Down?
Oh, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, 1000%.
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, or The Matrix?
Given how The Matrix changed a lot for when I was coming up in the world of movies, I got to go with The Matrix.
Shane or Kill Bill?
I got to go with Kill Bill. That had more of an influence on me than Shane.
The Searchers or Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon?
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Again, that had a big influence on movies and how martial arts were depicted.
And closing out the first round, The Wild Bunch or Creed?
Oh, wow, how do you pick your choices? It's such an odd combo. Yeah. Well, The Wild Bunch. It's just so much more of a classic, iconic movie. I like Creed. The first Creed's actually pretty good.
Oh man, the first Creed is
the
first Creed is so good. I had to immediately watch it again after watching Creed 3.
I haven't seen Creed 3. Is that?
It's okay. It's good. It's different, but it makes you want to watch Creed 1 again.
Right.
All right, moving on. Unforgiven or Raging Bull?
Oh, we have to narrow this down.
Yep. There can only be one.
There can only be one. This
is an interesting exercise, Luis. You're gonna have to explain to me what your purpose is with it when we're done here.
Alexandra, who's been Alexandra.
Yes.
It's gotta be This is where I remind you.
It's painful.
The goal of the bracket bit is to cause maximum pain. You are the rat of my maze. I create it. You solve it. It feeds my evil Lou side.
Okay.
And it's entertaining as hell.
That's entertaining. All right. We got Unforgiven and Raging Bull.
I gotta go Unforgiven.
That's a classic. It's a classic. Karate Kid.
It's one of my all-time favorite movies. It's my favorite Western, for sure.
Clint Eastwood has to make the top 4 somehow. Karate Kid or Rocky?
Oh, that's hard.
You said both of these was because of your youth.
Yes. I just can't. I guess if I'm going to say that one movie had more, like when I think about, like sometimes when I'm going through a really tough time, I go back and I watch the scene. Is it round 14 of Rocky? Is that the scene where he like gets knocked down and you think he's out, but then he gets back up and Creed is like, "Fuck, you got back up." Is it when
It's
like
towards the
that?
end.
That gets me still. So based on, but I love Cobra Kai and I love Karate Kid, but based on that alone, I got to go with Rocky.
All right, let me ask you this. This is a side question here.
They're both directed by the same person, by the way, John G. Avildsen.
Oh.
If you're looking at Rocky and you have the entire Rocky franchise, including Creed, or you're looking at Karate Kid and you're including Cobra Kai and all the sequels, as a franchise, if you had a chance to direct an episode in a new series based on one of those, which one would you take?
Oh. I mean, I've always thought that I would be a great director for Cobra Kai. Yeah.
So you go with the Karate Kid. So
right.
Rocky wins, but if you had to go work on one, it probably.
I think Rocky's done. I think you should leave Rocky alone. Although you could do more with the Cobra Kai world. So
okay,
yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, Legends of the Fall or The Wrestler?
The Wrestler. I think that's a powerful film.
Tombstone or The Raid?
Tombstone. Val Kilmer. Have you seen Tombstone?
No, I have not.
Sorry. You got to watch it. You got to watch that.
List as we
watch that, and you got to watch Unforgiven.
Wyatt Earp is my friend.
Unforgiven and Tombstone.
Yes.
All right.
Most people go with the I'm Your Huckleberry, but I like that other. I like Wyatt Earp is my friend. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Val Kilmer's a fucking beast in that movie.
Oh, he's so amazing.
Rumble in the Bronx or Enter the Dragon?
Enter the Dragon.
No hesitation. Enter the Dragon. Right. 3:10 to Yuma or The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly?
Oh, that's a fucking tough one. That's tough because everyone would say you got to pick Good, Bad, the Ugly because it's classic and the theme and the influential.
Well, listen, a lot of people would a lot of people in this seeing your movies, they would be like, how did whatchamacallit, Shane not make it through or something, or the Wild Bunch, because you have a ton of Western influence, obviously.
The Wild Bunch did make it through.
I'm just saying, like in terms of
Yeah. No, you're right.
Josie Wales.
You're right. I mean, it's a tough choice but those are two Westerns though. And I think I'm going to pick 3:10 to Yuma because it's more, if I was going to make a movie, it probably would be more like that than it would be like Good, the Bad. Well, I don't know. I just, that ending in 3:10 to Yuma, you've seen it obviously, Luis. Yeah. That ending, that final shootout with just the sound of the train going shroom, 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 shroom. It's
a classic. You can't make a choice. I would say The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is one of the most iconic scores of all time, obviously. So that's kind of what it has going for it. But 3:10 to Yuma is another, two Westerns. What are you gonna do? All right, we got two fight movies here. We got The Matrix and Kill Bill.
I think for my money, I'm gonna go with Kill Bill. Because that's more of like more my speed. Just like the way he blended all those things, I thought was really cool.
Tarantino gets one through. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, or The Wild Bunch?
I'm going to go with The Wild Bunch.
All right, it only gets more painful here. We're down to our final 8. We got Unforgiven or Rocky?
For fuck's sakes.
This could be the final based on what I've been hearing from you so far.
If we're going to go with movie that I just have the utmost, I mean, I have a DVD tower, and on that DVD tower, movies that I see are the most is my favorites, most rewatchable. Both Rocky and Unforgiven are in that DVD tower.
Well, then that negates what I usually tell people is like, if I usually ask them like, well, okay, if you had to go watch a movie right now after this podcast, you had to go watch a movie with somebody, which one would you pop in? But you might do both back to back.
I would do both. I would do both. God damn it. I can't do it, man. It's like asking me to pick one of my favorite children, like I can't.
You can always ask Sophia and Rosa for their opinions as well. They're here.
Can I?
Yeah, I don't know how much help I can be on this one, but I'll try my best.
But you haven't seen Unforgiven, so how can Sophia give an opinion?
So no,
Rosa, do you have an opinion on these two films?
I have an opinion on you. You're so evil.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes,
thank you, Rosa.
That. We all agree
I'm trying not to smile. Whenever somebody cringes, I'm like, don't smile too much. Rosa, do you have an opinion on Rocky versus Unforgiven?
Oh man, I mean, I've seen both films. It's been a while though. Oh man.
Yeah, see, it's hard.
Yeah, I think a lot has to do with whatever genre you prefer at the end of the day.
You know what I would my perspective, it would be the thing about Rocky that would put it over the top for me is how it was made and Sylvester's story of getting Rocky made. Because at its core, Unforgiven was a movie that a Hollywood star was able to make exactly the way they wanted because they were a Hollywood star. And Rocky was made by somebody who was breaking into the industry.
It was an underdog story in every sense of the word. Yeah. I know you're right about that. The thing about Unforgiven, the way I look at it is like, if I was going to want to make one of those movies, I would have wanted to make Unforgiven. Yeah. But you know what? No, let's go with your thing. Let's go with Rocky, the underdog story. Yeah, let's go with Rocky.
We're going with Rocky. All right, let's finish this up. The Wrestler or Tombstone?
Man, that's not. Wow, you just Tombstone.
Tombstone. All right, Tombstone's an awesome movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's just cool, like what it did, and it's like I said, Val Kilmer alone, like Yeah.
It's one of those things where Hollywood made two of the same movie, and this one was the clearly superior one. Because there's also the Wired Earp movie that was not nearly as good. You can watch it, but it's not as good. All right, Enter the Dragon or 3:10 to Yuma?
3:10 to Yuma.
Kill Bill or The Wild Bunch?
No, 3:10 to Yuma, I said.
Oh, sorry. I was doing it for myself. Kill Bill or The Wild Bunch?
Kill Bill.
All right, and then we get to our final four. We're talking with Jose Montesinos, Chico and Rico Animal Avengers. You can watch the movie. Check the link in the description of the show. You can also see it in the comment section. I linked it below. Keep an eye out for this guy. He's doing a lot of cool stuff in Hollywood. Hopefully we can get this movie made so Sophia can pay. I think Sophia would play a great animal abuser. She's got the face.
What?
For it, right?
Shut up.
She looks like a lady. She was a lady that gets shelter dogs and then abuses in her house, and then you guys have to go like beat her up or something.
Yeah, no? I mean,
no, she looks more like the
mean girl.
No, she looks more like the lady who just puts turtleneck sweaters on her dogs and they're too tight.
Yeah.
And the dogs don't like it. And they're complaining to Rico that these sweaters are too tight.
Oh my gosh. Write it up. Please write it. I will be that lady.
We'll get it. All right, we got the final four. We're putting Jose through the bracket bit pain.
This is torture.
All right, we got the final four. It's not going to be an easy one, but we got Rocky and we got Tombstone.
Got to go Rocky.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time arguing for Rocky. Rocky's a classic in this. 3:10 or Kill Bill?
3:10.
All right, and that leaves us the inevitable.
Yeah, this is an easy choice. Rocky. Yeah.
I fear the final for Rocky was right here against Unforgiven. Yeah. Once people start talking, I just put all the movies that are the best in my mind, and I look at lists and I see top fighting movies, and then I add a couple here and there and I mix it up. But like I said, it's just to sort of play with people and just see where their emotion takes them based of like genre and emotion. So you did a great job, man, getting through that.
Thanks. Yeah.
Cool.
Well, that was interesting. Wow.
Another successful bracket bid excursion. Rosa's been through it twice. Sophia's been through it. Alexandra's been through it. So it happens. We like to do it. Well, Jose, we're going to be moving on to other topics and stuff. I know you had an extra couple of 15 minutes that you could have hung out with us. So I do want to thank you again for taking the time to talk to us about your film, about your life and your thoughts on Semina. You're always welcome to come by. If you just want to come hang out, just let us know and we'll book you to come on. But keep an eye out, go watch the movie, keep up with them, follow them. We tag them in all our social media posts, so make sure you guys are following.
Please spread the word. Share the link to Chico Rico. The more people that see it, the better chance we have of getting it made.
Absolutely, man. Give it a rating, give it a like, all that good stuff.
So now you guys go on and do what? You guys talk about like.
Well, Rosa's here to talk about. We're going to talk about the HBO Max thing. We're going to talk about the J-Lo trailer, and we're going to just basically react to news and cultures. You're welcome to hang out if you don't got nothing to do, man. But
I do got to go. I was
we do the interview, and now we're just going to be live streaming. React Andy's here talking about stuff and podcasting.
Sounds fun. Well, hey, thank you guys so much for having me on. This is actually a really cool thing you guys are doing. It's a lot of fun, and that was fun. I mean,
thank you so much, Jose. Appreciate it.
It was a pleasure meeting you at the festival this year, man.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I'm telling you, it was one of the best experiences I've had. So thank you.
Hopefully we'll get to work with you sometime, and you have a great rest of your evening, man.
Yes, thank you guys. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. That was Jose Montesino.
That was Jose Montesinos with an S.
Montesinos. Like vecinos.
Uh-huh.
What's up, Rosa? What's new in the world of entertainment today?
I don't know how you get guests on here after you torture them.
He will never be seen again. He's just like, fuck these people.
You want me to do what? You want me to pick what?
Yeah, says the one that's been through it several times. And
several
here
times.
we go.
And yeah,
masochist, right?
I like people that are like, oh no, not another bracket, man. No. Don't put me through that. It's too painful. All right, we're going to talk about entertainment news here with Rosa. The big story for me in the entertainment world, which is what everybody has been talking about on Twitter, is the HBO, because everybody remembers HBO, right? We grew up with HBO. It's not TV, it's HBO. Mm-hmm. It's been recognized as it is the standard for prestige television, in my opinion. From The Sopranos to, name a TV show that's iconic, except for like John from Cincinnati. True Blood, right? What other HBO shows? Like, there's so many HBO shows that The Wire, all these shows that were iconic, like what's everybody's favorite HBO show in the chat if you're watching? And it becomes this iconic thing. Then they do HBO Max, HBO Plus, where they're releasing other shows. They also have talk shows, Chris Rock show, the Last Week Tonight. They basically, it's a brand. It was the brand of cable TV. It's iconic. The HBO logo is iconic. And then these streaming wars come. It merges with Game of Thrones. Thank you, Mello. It merges with Cinemax and these other companies, Discovery. And they're like, all right, we're going to enter the streamer wars. We have one of the most recognizable names in television history, Succession. What should we name? Everybody knows HBO. What should we name our streaming service? And they went with fucking Max. They went with the most generic, corporately, unorganically created, algorithm-related name you could possibly come up with. It's the best of everything. It's the Max. You could almost see the fucking guy pitching it, the person that pitched it in front of them. Let's just call it Max because it's the Max. Rosa, your thoughts?
I mean, it was HBO Go. It was HBO other things before it was HBO Max, right? Rosa, back me up.
Yeah, it was HBO Go, HBO Now, just HBO, and everything was streaming on all three platforms at the same time. I had no idea. I think I had all three apps at once.
Me too. Absolutely.
And I generally did not know the difference outside of the name. So, you know what? I may be on the unpopular side of things. I generally don't think, I know a lot of people are making a big deal out of the name just Max, and I understand how taking the HBO aspect out of it can be confusing to some people, but honestly, I don't think it's gonna make that much of a difference. I'm not gonna stop watching Game of Thrones or the other prequels because of the name of the app. I it's just, in my eyes, it's just a brand name. There's really no big deal. But again, this is just me. I know a lot of people feel extremely differently, and if that, a lot of people feel very, very aggressively about it. I've seen a couple of clips of people just losing their mind and just expressing their disagreement towards it. I get it, but I don't know. Now I'm curious though, because does this, I don't know, that's the bad thing about not knowing a lot about the financials and the business side of things and the branding of things. Pero I don't know, with the change of the brand name of the app, does this mean like we still get a chance to get Batgirl out or no?
Yeah, that's the thing. Can you release Batgirl on Max?
Right. It's
Or on
not on
Max Plus?
HBO Max. It's on Max now.
It's on Max, and they're listen. People were clowning them because, like I said, HBO is synonymous with prestige television, and Cinemax is like synonymous with Skinemax,
Yeah.
and like late night movies and crappy movies that they were able to afford. So, from a branding perspective, from a singular, let's just pick one name, and HBO is too unique. Max is more of a generic word. I can understand where they're coming from, but from a prestige standpoint, from a killing off a brand perspective, it is horrible. I mean, I think HBO is still going to survive as like HBO Pictures or whatever, and there's still going to be the HBO cable channel, but it is a bit weird. I think the internet goes a little crazy because it needed somebody to attack. Twitter needed the villain of the day. That's the rule of the internet. Don't be that day's villain. So I think they got clowned on, but you're right. It's not going to really change that much of anything. We're still going to watch it. We're still going to watch Game of Thrones. We're still going to watch the prequels. We're still going to have the greens versus blacks debates here with Rosa. So
True.
it's not going to change much. Sophia, anything to add on that part for you?
No, I just I'm kind of indifferent about it, just because it was weird. It kept changing its name. HBO Go, HBO, all that, and then all of a sudden we have HBO Max, and now it's just Max. I think they probably realized the problem is the HBO part.
Right, which is weird.
I don't know. It's weird, but what are you gonna do? Branding, am I right?
Yeah. And they're also gonna have They're gonna have like an ad version for like $8.99. They're gonna have an ad-free version for $14.99, and they're gonna have a supreme, or like, what is it? Like a super special ad-free for like $19.99. So there's ad-free, and then there's super ad-free.
So you're paying $8.99 for ads? That's the weird part.
You're gonna pay $8.99 and you're gonna get ads.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Prices are going to go up on every platform, aren't they?
Yeah. There's going to be a platform. And then eventually what will happen is there'll be a deal in like 4 years.
Merger.
They'll reunite, and then they'll just give us cable again. It'll be like...
No, 100%.
It's going to be like, oh, it's the Ultramax, where you get the best of Netflix and Hulu and all in one. And I'm like...
A bundle.
Yeah.
Wait.
It's like, oh, like cable, you mean?
They're gonna call it cable. All right, Rosa, what else is happening this week? We were going to talk about the new J-Lo trailer just dropped. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I saw that Netflix had released a trailer. It's called for the movie The Mother. It's going to be releasing on Mother's Day, of course it is. And okay, there's a couple of people, a couple of actors, just whose sole name just instantly make me interested in watching any film. Obviously, J-Lo's not one of them, but Gael Garcia Bernal is. So when I saw his name attached to this project, I was like, oh, okay, why is he in this? And what's going on here? So I saw the trailer. I mean, J-Lo looks, not only does she look incredible, but she looks like a complete badass here, just kicking ass and just killing it. Pretty much, literally and figuratively. So the trailer looked very interesting. Now I'm very much looking forward to watching this film, and it appears that Gael Garcia Bernal is going to be the villain in the movie. I don't know if it has to. I don't know if he's going to be like I don't know if it was a narco. I don't know. He had this demeanor of being like either the leader of a gang or something like that. But it's Gael. I don't think that man can do anything wrong. So
no, he can do no wrong. It's great.
Yeah. He can do anything, He can just stand there and like just stare at the camera, and I'll be like, "Oh, this is so good." Yeah, just read out a book or something, and I'll just be like entertained.
He should do that. Audible.
Oh,
say.
One of the things that that we were thinking about here. Well, actually, it's interesting that you said that, because before I decided to do a bracket bit with our guest from earlier, I was actually going to do a top J-Lo movie bracket bit with you, Rosa. So you got saved. I was about to do that because I was like, "Ooh, we're going to talk about the J-Lo trailer. We should do what Rosa's favorite J-Lo movies would be." I mean, it would be probably pretty clearly Selena, right?
Her favorite film?
No, your favorite.
Yeah,
J-Lo.
I'm sorry, my favorite J-Lo film. No, it would. I think it would actually be Hustlers.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that performance slightly better than Selena.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Sophia? What's your favorite J-Lo?
Oh, that's hard. That's hard. Favorite J-Lo. Don't put me on the spot. All I can think of right now is Hustlers as well, because that's the latest, and it was just her at her like boss bitch peak. So, but I
The
do love
Cell
a
was
good
badass. The Cell was badass. I'm not gonna lie.
badass. Yeah, I don't know. She's so good. Let me pull up her IMDb. I'll get back to you.
You know what? She's got a pretty lengthy filmography.
She really does.
Yeah,
she has Selena enough, where she's she's
any music
planner.
video,
violence,
any music video circa the Mark Anthony days.
Made in Manhattan, Anaconda. I remember her as a fly girl from In Living Color, obviously. So yeah, she's got a nice filmography. The mother looks good. She looks badass in it. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
And then one of the other things that we had talked about also was the fetishizing.
Mm-hmm.
One of our, Pedro Pascal, fetishization of Pedro Pascal. Basically, I'm trying to pull up this bit here, but there was a interview that he did where it's like the new thing with him, like he's such a thirst trap that people were coming up to him and making him read tweets that people had written about him that were basically just sexy, right? And there's at one point, and I think I had it as a tab a while ago, where this interviewer comes up to him and says, "Could you read this out?" And it was something like, Pedro Pascal's daddy's stand on my neck type deal, right? And he took a look at it and he was like, "No, I'm not reading this," So there was an article written a couple of days ago again about, like people do with Asian actresses or things like that, the hot Latino male, I've been through it, I understand it.
Okay.
But Pedro probably gets it on a higher level. But Rosa, do you want to expand a little bit about that? What are your thoughts on this subject?
Yeah, I think the article was interesting, and I'm slightly conflicted on it, porque from one side I understand how it can be it can go to such extent that it crosses boundaries, and it goes to people approaching him and him thinking he's going to be interviewed and he wants to promote whatever he's working on, and then people are just going to be asking him to read these tweets or to say something just to catch it. And I understand how that can be uncomfortable for him, and how that definitely distracts us from the great actor that he is. I think he definitely has some decent acting chops, pero I'm conflicted in the sense that I had the opportunity to read the whole article, and I think it was written by a friend of mine, and I love her and everything. Pero
Aiko, right? Aiko wrote that?
Aiko, yeah. And she talks a lot about how this further enhances the stereotype of Latin men, and so on and so forth. And true, I can see that, pero it also talks about it makes a lot of references to race, which is something that kind of threw me off, stating that a lot of white women are the ones that are making these comments or asking them these questions and so on and so forth. I'm like, hey, us brownies, we're doing it too. We should all be taking a little bit more accountability for all of this. We're perhaps like incentivizing it to some extent. So don't just like hyper focus it on one specific race, because it's a broad general, like it's many of us. It's not just, and I mean,
real.
yeah. And of course I admit that I can do that. I mean, I do it a little bit more with Oscar Isaac. Pero I can understand how, pero también at the same time, if I were to meet them, that's not what I'm going to be asking them as much as I want to. You have to be professional. You have to keep that level of professionalism, especially if you're interviewing them and if you're talking about their work. So in that sense, the article certainly did hit a lot of points that I did agree with. Pero deflecting it just to a specific group of women, like, no, there's a lot of us out there. So let's just take some accountability and try to bring attention to this, pero tampoco be like, oh yeah, now everybody's doing this. Perhaps we were the ones that started.
That's like me saying, I'm tired of people thirsting after Ana de Armas. Leave her alone. I can't say that. All these white dudes thirsting after Ana de Armas. Stop it.
No, and then no need to make it a racial issue also, because then we also don't want to, necessarily be the desexualized. Like if we're going to go about race, you don't want to over-sexualize people, but you also, if they're hot, you should be able to comment on it. White guys get it too. Everyone gets the thirst when you're a celebrity to a certain extent. So I don't know, the whole focusing on like white women are, it's kind, I don't know, it seems odd to me. I feel like everyone is doing it and we should all just be professional. If you ever meet him, don't be disrespectful. The guy's hot. Like,
I'll play the clip just to give us a little context.
Okay, yeah, please.
You could read a few thirst tweets that the internet has for you. You can read them to camera.
And at this point, he's like,
No.
Mm-hmm.
For your enjoyment only. Thank you. Have a good night.
He's like,
but see, that's fine. I feel like, okay, that was not mean at all. I'm sorry, but he said no. She was like, okay, thank you. Like, what? There's a whole segment in, what is it, Jimmy Kimmel or whatever, where it's like reading thirst tweets.
Yeah.
Or reading mean comments. Like, it's a segment. People do this. I don't know. Entertainment interviews are weird.
Yeah, I understand, but it is like Rosa said, in my opinion, you're there to promote. Yes, you can have a little fun. Like we've all seen, there's been an uptick in cringe interview red carpet, I think, recently. I think that, if you agree, I mean, there's been a couple, like I know that they interviewed that guy from Euphoria and there was like a cringe interview of him. There's either people that are like super media trained on both sides, and that always know how to answer and then know how to ask questions. And not everybody is as talented a question asker as myself and Sophia, but it's also, there's a lot of people out there that are interviewing people because they have followers and because they have, because of their Instagram or TikTok counts, and not necessarily because of their skill or understanding. So the more you get at that, you're going to have more awkward kind of cringe moments like that. So I think it's cringe. And yeah, it speaks to maybe a bigger issue of fetishizing, fetishization. Yeah. But also let's not freak out about it. Can we agree?
Yeah, I think so too. And then also, like, I think that fetishization is a problem when it belittles and dehumanizes the person's talent. But sorry, but
I went to college.
I went to college. But I think, and devil's advocate here, I don't think it's what's happening here. I think he's an incredibly talented actor, and he is getting his roses as well, as well as being fetishized and thirst trapped. But I don't think it's like a severe case as Salma Hayek in the early 2000s, late 90s, where it was literally like everyone was just like, boobs, Salma. Like no one talked about her acting. No one thought she was just cast to be the hot Latina. He's actually getting to, flex his muscles, and he's a great actor, and kudos to him. So
look, he gets to be in The Mandalorian, and he doesn't even have to show up on set.
Exactly.
He didn't even said it. He doesn't. He's never taking his mask off again.
Yeah.
All he has to do is go in for probably 2-3 days, do the voiceover work, and he's on 2 hit TV shows at the same time.
Yeah. So, maybe don't over fetishize the guy, but at the same time, I think, I don't know. I don't know what point I'm making. He's hot. He's talented. Good for him. I don't know.
Is it still the cold medicine talking, or is that still you?
No, that's just me at this point. Sorry.
They try to trap them with the LGBTQ question, so right there on the spot, they could potentially lose a large percent of the virus of the answer. Sometimes they do.
What was the question?
No. In terms of for celebrities, where they try to trap them with kind of gotcha questions and stuff.
Yeah, what do you think about trans rights, or something like that? That immediately is if I say yes or no, I'm in trouble.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, and one more thing we wanted to talk to Rosa about, which was her tweet that I responded to, which was...
Ooh, what's she say now?
Ooh, Rosa got spicy. No, I know. There was these happen on Twitter once in a while where there'll be a list of directors and then people will copy and paste it and add their favorite film by that specific director. There was another one coming around and most of the directors were all white. So we... Rosa made her own tweet thread, which was basically she picked, I think it was 10 or 12 Latino directors, and she noted her favorite films by each of them. So we have Children of Men by Cuarón, which is one of my favorite movies. I think that was the only one where my list and your list matched. Guillermo del Toro, Cronos. Amores Perros, which actually was showing at the festival this past year. They were showing it at 9:45, and it sold out. They played Amores Perros at 9:45 on a Thursday, and it was raining, and the theater was sold out. Yep. So you can tell that movie still has a lot of Parallel Mothers, Emma, Fantastic Woman. That made a cool festival run a couple of years ago. Desperado by Robert Rodriguez. Yes. Sophia, do any of these stack out to you? Do you disagree with some of these filmmakers on your favorite movie by them?
Can you zoom in a little bit? I love Desperado, love Amores Perros. I need to watch more, honestly. What else is new? Sophia needs to watch more movies.
Sophia needs to watch more. Rosa,
I saw Marcel the Shell this week. Okay, are you proud of me?
That's right. I was looking forward to your thoughts.
I cried. I laughed. It was beautiful. It was an innocent film with a great message. I don't know what to tell you. I loved it.
Yeah. Love it.
It was the Ted Lasso of movies about inanimate objects.
Yeah. It made me about a shell. Jesus.
Rosa, what kind of reaction did you get to this, and why did you feel like it was necessary to sort of put that out there?
Yeah. Well, to make I always feel like I'm just screaming in the void. Porque every time I see these type of tweets, of course, all you see is Spielberg and Scorsese and
Tarantino.
Kubrick and and Nolan and Tarantino and the same dudes. I mean, granted, half of these dudes are also white, pero son Latinos. But I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna try to change it up a little bit because I'd like to know what people are people out there like. Not that many people actually retweeted, and those that did were very minimal. They only I think they only gave Cuarón, Del Toro, Iñárritu, maybe Rodriguez, and Nava, pero the other ones, or even Almodóvar as well.
Almodóvar is pretty cool. Yeah.
Pero Larraín, Lelio, and Martel, a lot of people don't know who they are. Pablo Larraín, Chileno director, and also Sebastián Lelio, another Chilean director. Lucrecia Martel, she's Argentina.
How did you not put Eugenio Derbez? How dare you?
Eugenio Derbez, right? And then Carlos López Estrada, he's just recently one of the new ones that's coming up. But yeah, he also directed, what is it called?
Lelio's pretty new too.
Who?
Lelio.
Sebastián Lelio?
Yeah, well, no, I mean, A Fantastic Woman is a recent movie. I mean,
Yeah,
what is
yeah,
it?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It is, but he's been directing a lot. Actually, the last movie he did came out last year. Wonder, starring Florence Pugh, and with La Reine, the last one he did was Spencer, starring Kristen Stewart. So they're out there doing good movies, but not a lot of people are highlighting them as
Yeah. Because
as
I like Jackie a little bit better myself
better than Emma.
than Spencer and Spencer.
And Spencer, yeah. Spencer, I didn't have an issue with. A lot of people did, and I get it. I understand why, but
I liked it. I just like Jackie. I love Natalie Portman too. So I like Jackie a little bit better. Yeah. Did you watch Jackie, Sophia? You should watch
I
that
did
one.
not. I did watch Spencer though. I really loved it.
No, absolutely. Yeah. Well, like I said, there's a lot of talent out there, and people that call themselves film buffs also sometimes stick to those, like you said, like how many times am I going to tell you, Hard Eight's my favorite, movie by this guy, and and I like, Jackie Brown is my favorite Tarantino. Like yeah, I liked it a little. I think like a year or two ago there was like an all female director list that I really liked, and so I really think that yeah, I mean, like you said, you could scream into the void, you could do something about it. You chose the latter, right? So you just kind of put it out there into the universe.
And out of everybody, like Gregory Nava, that guy's been around for a while, and he's directed some of the most iconic Chicano or Mexican American films, and rarely is in the conversation of anything, to be honest. Only unless we're talking about Chicano cinema or Mexican American cinema. But yeah, I love what you did.
Yeah, well, I love Children of Men. Pacific Rim is so good. Birdman.
It is.
Birdman. Volver is one of my favorite movies too. That's an awesome movie. Jackie, I like better. Fantastic Movie was really good. From Dust Till Dawn by Rodriguez, and then by Luis Martinez, Slapworthy. That's my my favorito. And my family again, man. There's so many good. Yeah, there's so much talent. So go out there and watch some more movies. Sophia.
Yes, I'm trying. I watched Schindler's List this week, Marcel the Shell, and then I'm sorry, I rewatched Pulp Fiction. It was just a comfort film for me. Okay, I'm sick. I'm sick. I watched 3 movies, you guys. That's a lot for a week for me.
I rewatched those movies. All right, so here what I have.
I watched The Truman Show too for the first time.
Oh,
I did.
There you go. How'd you like that?
Loved it. Yeah, totally. I understand more references now.
In case I don't see you, good afternoon and good evening. Yeah, Jim Carrey peaked. Jim Carrey there.
Yep.
Rosa, I want to ask you a question about Killers of the Flower Moon, because this is for like 2 years now. This is the only picture that we've gotten. Yeah. We know who's in the cast. We know Jesse Plemons. We know it's Scorsese. We know it's we know this. We know the story that it's about, but we've gotten one fucking picture. How excited are you, or are you sort of like just? How do you feel about all the secrecy and stuff surrounding this? Are you excited for it?
I have a certain level of excitement, not as much as other film buffs will have, just because it's Scorsese. I think it's gonna be doing a premiere at Cannes, if I'm not mistaken, and it's isn't this like almost 4 hours long?
Yeah, it's supposed to be like 352,
350, 340.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That's a little. I get it. If the pacing is well, I mean, it's Scorsese. I guess you can't doubt that, man. He's one of the masters. But it does come in a little.
As long as there's no de-aging technology, I'm okay with it. I'll watch 4 hours of Scorsese.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, that's awesome. I don't know if there's any more pictures out there. I just all I know is that it's gonna be premiering at Cannes, and that it's very long. That's it.
Yeah.
But I have heard nothing else.
Has DiCaprio been in anything since he won the Oscar? Since The Revenant, I'm sure he's done some stuff, right?
Yeah, Don't Look Up, right?
Yeah, Don't Look Up. Don't Look Up, which was really good. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you about. Was there anything else that's coming out this week or that you've seen recently that you wanted to touch on?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's coming out this week. Well, I think the I'm not big on horror, but I know like the Pope Exorcist is coming out, and I still want to go watch Air. It's still on my to-do list.
Evil Dead
And
Rising too, right? Evil Dead.
Is a new Evil Dead coming out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like it has good reviews. It's doing very well.
Yeah.
I mean, critically speaking.
Yeah. The horror stuff is. It seems like, man, we're in a horror resurgence right now.
Resurgence, yes.
So
Yeah,
that's why, like, you can think about it. If you have a horror movie out there, it's time to go out there and pitch it. We might need to make a horror comedy here pretty soon.
Yeah. We do need new horror. I feel like it's all old films that are being, rebooted, redone. I don't know. Yeah. Scream was awesome, though. I did watch that as well this week.
Which one?
Scream.
Oh, the new one. All right.
I
What do you? I want to ask you one other thing, Rosa. What do you
Yeah.
think the next big? Well, all right, let's put it this way: if you could bring one video game franchise to the screen, which one would you pick to be the next one?
Oh, video game. Well, my video game knowledge isn't the best. So
Candy Crush, the movie.
Candy Crush, yes. I'm good with that. Yeah.
Farmville, the movie.
Remember that Snake game?
Oh my god.
Farmville, the movie. I could see it.
I could see it.
You know what? I generally don't know. Because all the ones that I used to play already have some form of adaptation. I mean, Mario Brothers is the one I used to play the most. Sonic, Mortal Kombat. So yeah, they're all out there already. So, but you know what? I have to express my immense joy of seeing how well Mario Brothers is doing, and how it's just blowing everybody's expectations and predictions, and it's just, and I'm happy because I watched it again for a second time. Well, that's what I did. Instead of watching new movies, I rewatched the ones I already seen. And I took my kids to watch it, and they loved it. They absolutely loved it. They were having a blast. And the screening that I went to, it was mostly it was a 10 a.m. screening on a Saturday. No, it wasn't a Sunday. It was on Easter Day. So I'm thinking, you know what? I'm gonna go Sunday morning, Easter, it's gonna be empty. My dummy head thought that. No, that thing was packed.
Yeah.
And like half of the theater was like cosplaying, whether like Princess Peach or as Mario or as Luigi or anything.
That's
I was
awesome.
like, you know what? And hearing a lot of people talking about it, and finding out that Mario has been around for 4 decades. That's a good 2-3 generations of people that this is going to be speaking to. Man, it just makes me happy.
I can't wait. I'm going to see it on the 28th. There's a sensory screening that I'm taking the Minion to, so we're going to watch it there.
Aww.
Yeah. So good question coming in before we let Rosa go. The list Rosa put out are for Latino directors who work behind the scenes. Is representation more important behind the camera or in front?
Both.
Yeah.
That's it. Bye.
Short answer,
Bye.
Bye.
No, I think it's both, because a lot of the movies that I select, I'm trying to think, is there any movie I selected that didn't have Latino representation on screen? There might be. But I think both.
You didn't pick Spencer. That would have been the only one.
Okay. Yeah, no.
There's no Latinos in Spencer.
No Latinos in Spencer.
Or probably in Jackie, which I picked. As a Latino director and somebody who tries to do both. Yeah. I mean, we always give shit to GDT, right? Because his movies are very white. So but again, he's also and as Rosa said, a lot of these directors are Latinos, but they're also white, so it's kind of like a weird thing where there is a difference, specifically speaking, between American raised or born Latinos versus foreign Latinos to the US that are making movies in the US space. Those directors are much more apt to want us work with their heroes, actors they admire, that they always want to work with, and not so much whereas the US born, like Robert Rodriguez, always tons of representation, right? Tons of stuff like that. And you can see a palpable difference myself. US raised Latino. et cetera, et cetera. So there is a bit of a difference, even Inaratu, Birdman, other movies like that. Not a lot of Latino representation, DDT. So yeah, we wish they would do more because both of it is important, and you would want Latino directors to put more in front of it. But it's kind of like not a nitpick, just something we it's like we love them and we respect them as masters at their craft. We just wish and hope they continue to sort of expand in that area, but they can be judged against the other great directors just strictly because of their talent and their vision, right?
Agree.
I used to be, I'm gonna be completely honest with you, and I've changed perspective on this. I used to be very vocal about Guillermo del Toro and of course Alfonso Cuarón and Alejandro González Iñárritu when they were doing their movies here. Like, yes, you had the Harry Potter films, you had Children of Men, and then and you had mostly white cast. But I came to the realization that yes, everything, no matter who is in front of the screen, we are viewing it through a Mexican perspective. And I would hate to impose my expectations upon other directors. It's like me telling you, Louis, hey, you know what? This is what I want to see on screen. This is what I want to see from a Latino director. And then telling you and giving you a list of everything I want to see. No, you should be allowed to go out there and do what you want to do without necessarily the burden or having so much pressure from the community. And if the community is in such urgency to go out there and see themselves represented, then go do a film and do it yourself. And and a lot, because at the same time, yes, let's say Iñárritu, he has done Babel and all these movies, but he just did Bardo too. He went back to Mexico and he did his film.
Roma as well.
And Roma, yeah, with Cuarón. And I'm pretty sure it's just a matter of time before Del Toro does something. If not, then I'm still going to go out there and watch it because he's just a visionary that I wholeheartedly admire. And if he doesn't do anything with Latinos in it, I'm not going to be too pushy on him either. So, yeah, it's just, yeah.
I'll be pushy for you. Don't worry.
Hey, you know what? Rosa walks so we can run. So
exactly, yeah. You don't got to do any of the pushiness. We'll do plenty. Don't worry.
Right. Okay, let me just put this follow up and then we'll let you go, Rosa. One of my favorite Cuarón movies is Gravity, but it stars two white people, Clooney and Sandra. Would you rather Gravity be directed by Michael Bay, but stars even Longoria and Pedro? Hey, great questions today. Great questions, by the way. All right. So I would not want Michael Bay I wouldn't take Michael Bay over pretty much any other director.
Yeah, Michael Bay? Why him?
Michael Bay. But if we're asking the question, I think no. I what I've always felt as a director is that you have to create your art. At the end of the day, it's your art. You're the one that makes the decision. We just hope that these people are going through this process of thinking about it, from a different point of view during their casting. It's Cuarón's movie. It was awesome. And like we said before, the movie maybe doesn't get made without Bullock and Clooney, right? So if he's like, I want to make this movie, it's all green screen, it's this scale. Yeah, and I want Eva Longoria in it. They'd be like, I don't know if Eva Longoria or Eva Mendes is opening up a movie. I don't know if Pedro Pascal is opening a movie.
Now he would.
Now maybe, but this is what, like 8 years ago, 7-8 years ago. So it's a collaborative art, and it's a mix between wanting to get your movie made, having the budget for it, and those decisions. So that's another aspect of it that these directors, like I said, you don't get to make the movie without putting some recognizable talent that's going to open. That'd be my opinion on it.
Yeah, I would also go with no. For everything you just said, and it's it's Alfonso Cuarón, and you have what, in my opinion, and with all respect to Mr. Dickens, but one of the best cinematographers in history with El Chivo Lubezki. So whenever he works and he's behind the camera, I'm always excited to see what he does. And so because to some extent, then it starts to feel, in my humble opinion, it starts to feel forced. They're just there because they are Latinos. and for the sake of checking off the diversity box, quote unquote. Y a veces when that's too forced, it doesn't sit well.
Got it.
Yeah, I agree.
That makes a lot of sense.
I agree.
All right, guys. Well, we've been live here with Rosa Parra. She is our brand new entertainment correspondent. She's going to be with us weekly to talk about what's going on in the world of entertainment, to knock out some tabs with us, and to be an official part of the show moving forward. So thank you once again, Rosa, for stopping by tonight.
Yeah. Anything else you'd like to add on, Rosa?
No, nothing else that I can think of. I don't think I have anything going on in terms of reviews or anything like that. This is a pretty slow week in terms of releases and such. So no, nothing. And thank you guys again for having me and staring at my little Chihuahua picture for almost an hour.
We'll be
I'm
looking
convinced
forward to
what your face actually looks like now.
You know what? No, this Chihuahua picture is like 10 times more gorgeous than my face will ever be.
Please. We'll look forward to talking to you as we get closer to the summer movie season and et cetera, et cetera. So, Rosa, we'll be talking to you soon. Thanks for stopping by.
See you next week.
All right, guys. Bye. Take care.
Bye.
Peace out. All right.
Love it.
La Handa says there's a lot of Latinx representation behind the scenes of Pinocchio. Yes.
That's
I believe you. I believe you.
Can you switch back the black background, please? Just looks
What do you
so
want me to do?
black. The black background.
Do we have a black background? Yes.
No, can you switch it back to not black?
Oh, I never switched back our
No, I was like, I don't like the black.
no, give me a second.
Don't clip that. I mean the black background. Jesus.
All right, there we go.
Thank you.
There you go. No, I never
colors.
I never changed it back after bracket bit. Sorry.
It's okay. All
right.
That was great though. Love Rosa.
Yeah. Hey, so you sound a little better. You're still doing okay tonight? You're
I'm hanging in there. I'm feeling still a little not great, but a lot better. Boy, a lot better than Tuesday. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had body aches that day.
Yeah, now you still got a cough, but
yeah, I have a cough. Now it's more of like a, over the neck up symptoms. Before it was like full body symptoms. It was just bad.
All right. Well, we just have a couple of tabs here to knock out. We'll do no way, and then we'll get out of your way. All right.
Ooh, we got some no way.
All right here. All right. All right. And then listen, let's promote a friend here. We have ShannonAntonDesigns.com. A friend of mine has a custom Etsy store. She does all kinds of cool little tchotchkes and keychains and little things like that. She sells them there on Instagram. She's got an Etsy store. That's kind of a risque picture, though, with all the handcuffs. It looks like handcuffs, right? Did you think first it was like a handcuff thing? I know you did.
What? No.
You
Maybe
thought,
a little.
You thought these were fuzzy handcuffs. So go to ShannonAntonDesigns.com, and they're a friend of the show. And we'll be promoting random people from time to time because we like to do that. All right. And moving right along, we've done the thing. It's time for
dun dun. Let's get political.
All right.
What do we got today, Lou?
All right, tonight we're gonna keep it short because I don't want to. I think I've decided I don't want to do. We're gonna keep
too much is too painful.
Yeah, we're gonna just pick like 1 or 2 hellscape stories a week.
Sounds good.
Because if you want to figure out what the hell's going on in the hellscape, you just have to like look outside and
everything's on fire.
Everything's on fire. Let's go. I'm going through it real quickly. Give me 2 seconds here.
Yeah, sure.
All right, let's start with books.
Okay. What kind of books?
Because all of them. You know where poor people, old people go, and kids without internet connection go when they need to do homework, do research. Where do they go?
Biblioteca.
La biblioteca.
La biblioteca.
It's been an institution even in San Diego, in the cities, it's a place you can go to and not have to pay money. You can
donate
go
my
there,
books every year.
donate your books. You can do a ton of stuff there. You can read. You can do everything. You can sit there and listen to music, watch movies. Libraries are amazing. When I first moved to San Diego, I didn't have internet. I would go there to check my email. Love libraries. You know who doesn't love libraries?
Hulu. Who?
Republicans. They fucking hate them. They fucking hate them. Right. So, all right. So, Missouri House Republicans voted to defund all of the state's public libraries in a proposed $45.6 billion state budget that will soon move to the GOP-controlled state senate. So, the governor of Missouri set a budget, right, and he sent it to approval for Congress. They sent it back, and they're like, "No, this is too much money. We can't spend all this money. Let's cut all funding to libraries." So they want to they literally want to defund the library. They want to close all the libraries.
Yeah, yep. This is after same thing. We just did a $3 trillion deal with Saudi Arabia. So whenever there's people that just say like, where are we going to get the money? We don't have enough money for the libraries. We don't have enough money for healthcare. We don't have enough money for public schools. 3 trillion to Saudi Arabia. You guys, we have enough money for public libraries. We just don't prioritize social services in these countries of the United States.
Uncle Bernie says it the best. Comrade Bertie says it the best when he says, nobody bats an eye at the spending bill. When they need to bail out a bank, they never say, hey, how are we going to pay for this? Money's not real to the government. They can literally make more. They're just printing it out of thin air. There's no such thing. The debt will be forever. We're never going to pay the debt. It's not a thing. You're not being fiscally responsible by banning books, because at the end of the day, the ultimate goal is the books. Where are the books? At the library. Next thing they're going to come after is Barnes and Noble. They'll figure out a way that Barnes and Noble is no good.
And that's privatized, right? So
they are trying to figure out a way to censor the internet. They're trying everything.
Yeah.
They are losing everywhere. 3/4 of Americans favor abortion. 3/4 of Americans favor some sort of, or 60-something% of Americans favor some sort of sensible gun control. They're losing demographics. Their voters and their base is dying or increasingly crazier and crazier, and they have to fight these horrible. They have to come up with these villains to fight, right? So they're going after drag queens, trans people. Anything that's brownish is woke.
Yeah.
They have to they have to make people believe the boogeyman. They're trying to make it harder for college students to vote. They're trying to control state legislators and Supreme Courts so that even if the majority of people can vote, they're trying to figure out a way that they can just say, no, that vote doesn't count. And now they're going after books. And the way they're going after books is the most efficient way possible. They're trying to just say there's no more thing as libraries.
Defund libraries.
Yeah.
Man, it's scary times we're freaking living in. Man. We are not prioritizing what we should be prioritizing. The middle class is non-existent. All right. We have a lower working class and we have the top 1%. And it's terrible. I don't like it.
Yeah, you don't mess with the libraries if you're a good person. Why would you? What?
It's a haven. It's a safe haven. Like you said, free stuff. It's just normal community goods.
It's a place for kids whose parents work to go somewhere safe after work. After school. It's a place for book signings. There's a place meeting rooms. You can go film stuff in a library. They'll let you do stuff for free. You can use the internet. You can go listen, man.
This has happened in ancient Greece, Alexandria. They burned that library to the ground, and let me tell you, Dark Ages followed. Okay.
The Dark Ages followed.
We entered the Dark Ages. Yes. Read a history book.
All right. The other thing that happened is NPR decides that they're basically going to deprioritize Twitter, and that they're no longer going to basically be on Twitter. This is because Elon, I'm a 12-year-old with memes, Musk, has decided that they were going to make they put next to NPR that it is what do they put next to them? Government funded. First they put state funded media. Now they call it government funded media under their check mark. So basically, NPR produces consequential independent journalism every day in service to the public. Here's where you can find our work. They basically want you to download their app or follow them somewhere else. But and then Elon is, Elon's is knee deep in like Saudi money and Russian money for his loan to buy it, so and then people were like, well, Elon, your companies are basically state funded because Tesla wouldn't survive without government fundings, et cetera, stuff like that. So are you a fan of NPR? Do you think this means anything in terms of?
I'm not an NPR stan. I mean, I'm not a stan of like any real media companies, but I do think that there is a very important place for quote unquote government funded media. That is usually when you can get the most.
They get 90-something% of their funding from donations. They get government grants that anybody can apply for. So it's not really like it would be like,
So I do kind of like that a little more than privately owned media companies. So. I don't know. And then also just what is he doing with Twitter? And like, not only that, but banning the blue check marks with celebrities unless you pay. And it just seems like the Wild West of Twitter.
Yeah, it was supposed to be, here's a tweet that sort of sums that up.
It's a Doja Cat. I love the Doja Cat tweet.
Tabibi, I'm leaving Twitter because of Elon's decision. NPR, we're leaving Twitter because of Elon's decisions. Elon, my screen name is Harry Balls. And my building says Titter. And it also, the non-paying blue checks go away on 420 now. Ha ha. Because literally it was supposed to be April 1st, April Fool's. And then he pushed it back to 420 for the lulz. And, this guy says, my city is still paying this guy to explore tunnel drilling through the limestone water table beneath our homes. Just amazing. So basically, it feels like there's a 12-year-old at the wheel.
Yeah, it really does. I still don't know how he has any like Elon stans where they see him as like this like, genius, like otherworldly knowledge type person. I'm like, he's not an intellectual, you guys. He's a rich kid with daddy's money.
This is the perfect summation of the Elon Musk slams dick in car door. Musk fans. Masterful gambit.
Yes, exactly. This man can do no wrong in their eyes. It's total, I don't know.
Yeah.
Scary times.
No, but
where are you with Twitter? Because you love Twitter.
I'm still on there. I'm still on there. Like I said, you can. The thing is that it's interesting is like, because I've thought about blue check marks for like the show and stuff as we grow a little bit more, like just to make it more official. But then I was like, no, because the not having, because as soon as everybody
has a blue check mark, then it loses.
I thought so too. I was like, it's literally there's really no reason to have it, because it doesn't even it doesn't certify you. Like if you're like, at least with Meta and the Facebook Instagram thing, they want $14.99 a month. They want $14.99 a month, and it's through a government ID. And you have to, so it's actually a verification of who you are, so you can't be parodied, right? But all the Twitter is $8 a month, but it literally just means that you pay $8 a month. It just proves that you pay $8 a month. Like even LeBron James was like, I ain't paying fucking $8 a month, so people know it's me. So it is changing Twitter. And I do, and every time he does something stupid like this, it does erode it a little bit. But it's just for people that Twitter, there is no alternative. Instagram has never been Twitter; it'll never be Twitter. Facebook there's too many people you know in real life on Facebook for it to
No.
be Twitter.
That's
You know, Spoutable, Beehive. There's a bunch of ones that are out there trying to take up that space, and sometimes people will migrate over to them, and you won't see them on Twitter for a while. They come right back.
Yeah.
You know, because it doesn't have the reach in the audience, and you don't have the direct connection with these people that you do in other stuff. So
Yeah.
So
I wish he would have never bought it though.
He didn't want to buy it either. He was forced to.
No, he was not.
He was absolutely forced to buy Twitter. That's the other thing that's the other thing that they say. He said he was going to buy it. He offered a price. Then he tried to back out of it. And then the courts forced him to buy it, or he would have had to have paid like a humongous fine.
Oh.
So he was literally forced to buy Twitter.
But why did he offer? Like, don't.
For the lulz, because he's a fucking idiot.
He's an idiot. Just don't do it for the lulz.
He said, I'm gonna buy Twitter and I'm gonna change the icon.
It was a whole anti-woke thing. Like, I'm gonna make it, you know.
Yeah, and then as soon as he did that, he realized that it was that hate shit went up. Hate shit went like through the roof. And then he's like, oh, so there is a reason for moderation and this other shit. All the advertisers left, etc. All that good stuff. Yeah, he hasn't been down. All right, here, moving right along here. But yeah, there hasn't been that huge of a change. Though the original order, the original owners
went down, right?
Yeah, the original owners it wasn't a private company. The original owners was shareholders. Yeah. So he would be able to sell it, but he'd have to find another individual buyer to send it. He took it private. He can't unmake it private and do another. He owns it all by himself. You know, he's the private owner of Twitter.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Moving right along here. So San Francisco. San Francisco remodeled. So this is before and after of a Starbucks on Castro in San Francisco. This is before the Starbucks, and this is after. So basically, they took out the ability for people to hang out.
Oh, what the?
Now, this is supposed to be something to combat homelessness.
Oh.
This is kind of like getting rid of libraries in a sense, where you're getting rid of places that people can hang out for free and do work. So.
But that just seems excessive.
But have you noticed this at all in any sort of location?
I have in NorCal. So I recently went to visit my friend in Berkeley, and Berkeley they have a whole homelessness issue. That park that people are like constantly protesting, they want to build something on it, but it's literally like a homeless haven, I guess. And yeah, no, like everything there is, especially on campus and around campus, it's all super like lock and key so that no homeless people can access anything around there. So yeah, they're very strict up there. It's crazy. But also the homelessness problem over there is like palpable. Like there's people everywhere on the streets.
Yeah. So
Crazy.
I mean, it just feels very cold. Like they're either trying to kill off that store because there's no, like now it's like what's the hell's the point? Like you could, you know, and it's obviously clearly in a very gay neighborhood. So
yeah,
the Castro district, obviously.
I love the Castro district, but damn, that's crazy. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense in a cafe. It is exactly right. It does.
Yeah, because the whole point is you get a coffee, you sit down. But
yeah, like why would I go back here ever again?
The homelessness issue is really huge in NorCal, though. It's like, I mean, in SoCal as well, LA, but like just any big city, I guess. But see, that's the thing that we should be talking about more is how can we can have social services to help these people out as opposed to
let's put spikes on the freaking park benches and under bridges so people can't make it. Instead of like, let's help them out. Let's make it as least, let's make it a little bit less palatable for them.
Yeah. I don't know. We have our priorities just not straight.
Yeah, let me get our things here. How many anonymous ways do we have? We have 3. Oh, excellent.
That's a good number. I love that.
We'll get to it in a second here. All right. Let's see. Moving some of these things to future weeks.
Next Tuesday, baby.
Okay, I found the channel for I found this channel here. The guy that got shot in the stomach, his name was Classified Goons. And basically, after seeing a little bit, I'm not going to watch his videos or subscribe because I don't want to give him that. But basically, he has videos like fake vomiting on an Uber driver, asking strangers to play Naked Twister, taking people's groceries, prank.
Okay, that's not funny.
Snitching on my camera, accusing people of stealing pets from PetSmart, aggressively sniffing people in the ear. So,
oh no, dude, I would if I was a gun owner and he tried any of that with me.
Oh my god, dude! I don't.
Sir, is it bad to say that I'm glad he got shot?
No, I was thinking it.
Asking
strangers to watch their tone prank. No, dude.
He seems like he should be in jail. That's all kind of harassment.
Don't
disturbing the peace.
Don't be this.
Don't be that guy.
All right. Hailey Bieber is officially launching her own cooking show.
Just can't handle that wing life. You know what I mean?
I know you wanted to talk about the Hailey Bieber, Justin.
I mean, I don't think this is the time though. That's a long convo.
Well, let's work on it. So, how do you feel about her transition to? Was she a model?
No, Hailey Bieber. She is the daughter of a Baldwin.
Yeah, she's a Baldwin.
That is all she is.
But she was modeling, right? That was her thing.
I suppose. I guess. Yeah.
She was, and then she married Justin Bieber, and now she's doing a cooking show.
I mean, good for her. I did hear that there was the Treaty of Versailles, and her and Selena
she's got Miss Vagina Candle there. Look at her.
What does that mean?
Miss Goop.
Oh yeah. Fucking what's her name?
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah.
Now, what chance do you think that she actually makes any of the food on the show?
0. Definite 0. But no, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I don't like to, whatever. I wish her the best. I hope that this succeeds. Good for her.
Okay, she seems to know how to cook, right? She's doing some of this herself.
Yeah, Selena Gomez is on there. Yeah, see, that's what I mean. I guess they're cool now. They squashed the beef. That's why we needed to talk about it a couple weeks ago, because that was the big deal. Treaty of Versailles has been reached.
The Bieber Gomez war has been averted.
It has, yep. It ended. They both posted on each other's socials, and I think we're good now, guys.
All right, so
but
you can put the knife away.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
I got to do more research on that. I'll get back to you on that.
All right, let's end on a good note. So Alternate Dimension, Andy's Kickstarter for Accidental Aliens has been funded.
Fully? Yes.
91 backers, still 5 days to go. So if you haven't already, I'll put the link in it, and we're going to be releasing the podcast with her tomorrow morning.
Hell yeah.
So the episode that comes out tomorrow will be the one where we're talking to Andy Duclith about this project, and it was probably about half funded by the time we had her on. So it's glad to see it has 91 backers. It's past its goal of 3,500. So they're moving on to their stretch goals. Still 5 days to donate to this campaign. It's a local independent group of indie diverse comic book writers, and they're getting together to do a I think it's their 3rd or 4th anthology.
Yeah,
it's a bunch of different indie comics that come together. So
awesome.
Very happy for them. Going to be looking forward to seeing what they come up with.
So happy you got funded. Hell yeah.
All right, and then here's a short thing here. I found this. This is Monopoly needs new player pieces, and I have some modern ideas. The Amazon shipping box. So remember, what piece did you play with when you played Monopoly?
I'm sorry, I'm not a big Monopoly player.
Did you use the racing car or the thimble?
I think that I've used the thimble a couple times.
The dog, the top hat.
I don't remember. Probably the top hat. I don't know.
Isn't there a plancha? What's your favorite Monopoly symbol?
Leave it in the chat. What's your favorite Monopoly symbol, guys? Why is this a new one?
Well, yeah, these are just suggestions.
Ooh,
Podcasting,
podcast. Hell yeah.
podcast, like yeah,
Ship for
and
Dizzy was Lizzie.
and latte.
I like those. I approve. Hell yeah.
I like the latte. Hold on a second. Did you guys have the story on Walmart closing 4 major stores in minority neighborhoods in Chicago? No, I did not catch that. I will.
We'll do some research on that. Probably talk about it next one.
If you want to link it, put it. I'll if not, we'll put it in. We'll make a tab for next week. The ship for Lizzie, the car for GSD. A friend of mine is doing this crowdfunding campaign. She's a student at EICTV. Oh, are you talking about for Accidental Aliens or for the Monopoly pieces?
Probably Accidental.
Probably
that would be a small world. I don't know.
Oh yeah, small world after all. Let me get rid of the rest of these. All right, guys, let's get into No Names Way.
Hell yeah!
All right, we're gonna look it up. Let's see.
No Names Way. No Names.
I like the racing car myself.
I like the podcast one. Del microphone.
Now it's time for
No Names Way.
No Names Way.
No Names.
All right. 3 questions.
No Names Way.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Posted the link over there. Got it. I will check it out. Boom. All right, here we go. 3 questions. The first question comes up to us from El Payaso.
Oh.
El Payaso writes, what are the host opinions on AI and Chat GPT and the future of film production?
Ooh, that's a great question. Jeez. I'm terrified of AI. Not so much when it comes to filmmaking, although it probably should scare
and yet
me,
you fed it your pictures.
Yes, I did. I think I would be scared for stuff like that, like art. It's scary for what it could do to OnlyFans, to porn. Scary for everything. Honestly, everything. We're all gonna die. You guys.
In talking about like that one thing we talked about where they change the faces.
Yeah, because you can literally like construct a porn star, start an OnlyFans. You as Luis can make up any girl. Like you could just use AI to create somebody and create your own OnlyFans.
Oh yeah, deepfake, yeah.
Deepfakes, yeah. So deepfakes are kind of what
with the streamer.
And I do get scared of that possibly. Yeah, with Pokemon. Yeah, I do get scared of deepfakes possibly as well with acting. But then again, I don't know. Filmmaking is such a human thing that I don't know. But maybe that's me being naive. Maybe in the future, AI will catch up. So
we did a segment on in Lizzie a few weeks back.
When we did. Check that out with Dizzy Ms. Lizzie.
Was Dizzy on that one, or what was it?
I actually don't know.
No, it was with the South of 8. I think was it with the South of 8? I don't remember. We got
right. Okay. Yeah.
But I know we
from South of 8.
I think we did that. No, it wasn't with her. Yeah, I have it. It's on my list of clips.
It's on the clips. Yeah, we'll clip it out.
I'm against AI art. And I do think that, I work in an industry that uses Chat GPT, marketing, etc. They do a lot of stuff like that with customer service and things, but I don't feel that it'll ever, and you deal with it every day. You deal with every day when you go on a website, when you go on Amazon, when you go anywhere that you say, and you hit that chat button and you hear that talk to customer service, unless you give it something that it can't understand, you're talking to AI. You're talking to automated responses. You're talking to Chat GPT. You're talking to something that is looking for keywords. And if you start using a lot of exclamation points, or you start, cursing at it or something, it'll escalate it to a real human. But if it'll try to solve your problem for you without having you talk to a human. So it's already out there, trying to take my job specifically. But so I'm against that from a thing is that I know that, because if we're talking about just like there's the macro, right? And then there's the big picture, which is a species, which is us all living together on one planet. And so, yes, there's technology, and we keep getting better at it, and we keep doing more of it. And the more research you think, the more you figure out we can do this, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this. But at some point, you have to think about it as like, well, where does that leave us? because it was before it was like we're automating things so that there's less on-job industry injuries. We're automating things so that we can free up humans to think about stuff, right? But if the thinking is getting outsourced, then what are we? If not the Matrix, and they're just going to plug us in and just get electricity from us. You know what I mean? Like, at some point, you have to have that. There's people out there probably in think tanks and shit that are thinking about this stuff. It's like, what's the future of humanity if all of these things that humans do are being automated? What are we supposed to do? Just hang out, eat, and fuck? I mean...
we could. Everyone would love that. The problem is, everyone still has bills to pay, but they're not going to have jobs.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen?
So then we're going to go. It's everything. Everybody's government subsidized. Like, we're just giving me a check to be a consumer. So now I'm not even really a member of society. I'm just a consumer, and I'm giving the sustenance so that I may pick. So now the AI is doing research with me so that it can be more human. It doesn't. It doesn't make sense. Now, as far as filmmaking goes, I love it because one of the things that is the most unless you know somebody or you know an artist or you can be an artist yourself, is one of the things that I do the least as a filmmaker is storyboarding. Yeah, storyboarding is expensive because you got to get an artist and you have to pay them. And you have to, unless you know somebody, and it's really like a lot of work to storyboard something. Yeah. The filmmakers that do that really have a leg up. I just think of things visually, and I give my DPs and stuff a lot of freedom to figure out the stuff the day of, to let them play. So I don't really bother with storyboarding, but that is something that I would love to take advantage of AI on, because I can very quickly come up with images and stuff that I can share with my DP, that I can share with my team, so that I can sort of figure out what it is that I want. So as a research tool, I love it. I love the ability to do all these things. I'm not afraid of the technology. But as a human that thinks and creates, that makes a living being a salesperson and a creative thinker, it does piss me off. Yeah.
The Disney says, don't they have AI making scripts now? We did talk about that on that episode, which we'll be clipping. I believe we went over like a script, and it was comical. Yeah.
Yeah, it was an early one from a few years ago. It was the I made an AI bot watch a bunch of Olive Garden commercials and write a script for an Olive Garden commercial.
Yeah. That was funny.
Like, yeah.
All right.
I'll have the nachos extra Italian or something like
we'll
that.
We'll have to come up with that clip since it's topical. But we did
sauce.
talk about it a lot.
That sounds like the Wall-E universe. Absolutely.
It does.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right. Next question here comes from Concerned Daughter. Here, let me get a sip of water for this.
Oh, no. It's going to be a long one, folks.
All right. Concerned Daughter writes, I'm in my 30s and my mom and dad have been together for like 45 years. I am one of the younger children.
Okay.
The other day I went to the gym close by my parents' house because I was planning on stopping by afterwards for dinner. The parking lot was very full as it shares spaces with an office park, so I had to park towards the back. When I got there, I noticed my mom's car and drove towards it in case my mom was coming or going. As I got close, I noticed that the other car next to my mom's car had its door open and someone was sitting in the driver's seat with the door open. And my mother was standing in front of that person with her hand on their shoulder and his hand around her knee, leg, rubbing it up and down. Okay. I freaked out and drove away before she could see me. I didn't see her do anything, but I think she might be cheating on my dad. What should I do? I killed time and made it to dinner and everything seemed fine. My dad even asked her how the workout was and mentioned she had been doing much better since starting to work with a trainer. Again, what the fuck do I do?
Oh, you need to talk to your mom. You do. You need to be like, Mom, what's up? I saw this. What's going on? And then when she tells you the truth, you gotta, I don't know. That's when you make your choice. I don't know. What would you do? I would talk to my mom.
I don't know. Does it make a difference that she's a daughter and not a son?
No, because I think if if it was my friend, for example, and it was their significant other, I would go straight to the friend because that's who I have the alliance ties to, right? But it's my parents. I want them both to be happy and okay, and I want this to go about be in a healthy manner that this, happens. So I would talk to the cheating person first, just to be like, "Hey, what's going on? I saw ya. Tell me." And then if they admit to cheating, then be like, "How are we gonna go about this? Because you're hurting dad, and that's messed up. And if you don't tell him, I will." Type of deal.
You can watch the Fablemans talk to your mom. Yeah, basically
Yeah.
the Fablemans. Yeah, no, I was just curious, like if it was like, because I know from myself, I didn't catch like my dad cheating or something like that, but I do remember like later on in my life, they were drinking and he was telling stories about this thing where he was with this chick, and I was like, oh, when was this? And I was like, wait, you were married to my mom back then.
Okay.
And I remember being like retroactively mad at that, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering if it's mom to mom versus I saw my dad and he was with a chick, if it makes a difference versus I saw my mom, back and forth, but I'm pretty sure it's probably about the same.
It's about the same. I think it has to do with age too, because I remember when I was little, we caught my dad cheating, and then we immediately told my mom. Well, not cheating, but like, we would always tell my mom, Mom, we met dad's mistress, Mom, blah, blah, blah. We would always tell her. She would hate it. But, it was also because it was comical how like blinded she was. She didn't want to listen. So it would be like, Mom, yeah, he's cheating anyway. Right. Mom, yeah. So yeah, but we were kids.
Yeah. As
adults, I think I'd be like a little more, hey, let's sit down as adults.
Talk to your mom. My only other piece of advice might be, I don't know, like maybe just sort of hang out a little bit more and just try to catch a vibe of what your mom and dad's relationship is right now, because you never know.
They're separated.
Yeah, they could be separated. Maybe maybe that's an understanding. Because if you're like if you're 30 and you're one of the youngest kids, then that means they've been together for, you said, like 45 years. They got to be like in their 60s or mid 60s. They got to be, maybe they're getting freaky. Are you in Florida? Check to see if they have a scrunchie on their.
Oh my God, the scrunchie story. Yeah.
Check to see if they have a sponge on the back of their car. They might be swinging, and they might be. Maybe you never know. You never know. But yeah, the best way is to just talk to your mom and be like, "Hey, I think were you at the gym the other day? Because I kind of saw you. Oh yeah. Or just say that.
And she'll tell you.
You won't have to tell her what you saw. Just say, "Hey, I saw you in the parking lot at the gym the other day. I was in a hurry, or else I would have stopped to say hi." And then she'll know. Wait, did she see me? And then she'd be like, "Oh yes, I was with my trainer, and also he fucks me."
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, does dad know? Is he cool with it?
Yeah, she might. I mean, she might. She's keeping it together. She's going to the gym, and she's got a nice 30-year-old trainer dude. Hey.
I would open it up at that point. Listen, but
pineapples, yeah, pineapples.
Who's? Ask your mom. Talk to her mom, please.
Talk to your mom. All right. Good luck, concerned daughter. All right. Yeah. And the last one comes to us from Birthday Wish. Birthday Wish writes, my girlfriend offered me butt stuff for my birthday because we joke about it, but I have no desire to explore that area. How do I politely turn that down and ask for a threesome instead? Well,
like that? By saying no, thank you. Can I have a threesome instead? Wait, how? If you haven't shown interest, why would she offer? Is my thing.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
We're assuming it's a male, right?
Says, yeah, my girlfriend offered me butt stuff for my birthday because we joke about it. Okay, so I'm assuming he's like, oh, when are you going to let me, explore the unholiest of holiest?
Yeah.
Right. And then she's like, oh, never. And then all of a sudden she's like, hey, your birthday is coming up. Guess what? You're getting anal.
Oh my God. Whoa, listen, you know what?
The gift that keeps on giving, I guess.
I'm so sorry. I assumed the anal was penetrating the man, not the woman. I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, this makes a lot more sense. Yes.
Yeah. Oh no,
the women. I thought pegging. I went immediately to pegging. I was like, why would she offer to peg you if you weren't into it? That's weird.
That's your bi curiosity coming out.
It is. I'm sorry.
That's a very bi response.
Got it. So anal on the woman. Got it.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah. yeah, because it also makes it like, oh, we always joke around about her doing stuff to me. Got it. Okay.
Exactly. I thought
Yeah.
it was like a
Oh
babe,
yeah.
for your
Oh
birthday.
yeah.
I'm gonna
I'm
anyway,
gonna,
whatever.
yeah.
Okay,
We're gonna make.
so
She said, "I'm gonna make you my bitch for my birthday," and he's like,
yeah.
"Oh no,
It's
no,
like,
thank
yeah.
you, no, thank you."
Like
No.
like Deadpool, International Women's Day, you know?
Oh
Anyway,
yeah. Okay, no. She offered him the butt.
the butt, and he's like, I'm actually not that interested. But he wants to the thing is he wants to switch it to threesome, which is unrelated.
That's like going from like coach to first class.
Yeah, so that's hard. Yeah.
That's going from like that's like the difference between getting upgraded to like exit row to first class.
Yeah.
That's a tough upgrade.
Well, the butt thing, I feel like just let her know, like, you know, that's actually like it's a joke. Like it's not something I'd be super into.
I've seen how you eat. Like I feed you. I know what's coming. I know it's going in. I can only imagine what's coming out.
I don't know, man. I would just because my ass, I'm this blunt. I'm this blunt in my real life. So I would just say, what about a threesome, babe? But I know that can get a lot of men in trouble. So I don't know. Is the girl
there's
curious
no right
at all?
way. There's no right way to ask for a threesome.
No right way. No. I will say the best threesomes are had with women that are actually into women. So if you want a threesome with two women and she's just super straight and super monogamous, don't even try it. Don't even suggest it.
Yeah, we've talked about this before. That, you know, like
very monogamous straight women will never take that kindly.
Mm-hmm.
So you know her.
No, if they're strictly dickly, you gotta
and very monogamous too. Like I don't share my man. Sorry.
That's usually the kind that will offer up the butt as a gift. You know, that'll be like, hey, you're in a no-win situation because there's no way to, like Lizzie said, you're aiming kind of high there. I'd be surprised to ask what he asked for next birthday. Yes, it would be escalating. No, she says you can have the butt. We always talk about it. He says, you know what? No. But you know what I would like is your sister. No.
Oh my God.
and then when she says no, then you're like, all right, how about just me, you, and a random?
Oh my God.
Right? No.
Totally. That's exactly how it goes.
Because you have to, the only way you can make the threesome plausible is if you have to go above and beyond,
Yeah. Also, I would say a threesome is not something you want to coerce somebody into. And I don't mean it's coercion by a birthday gift, but if it's not something that's coming from her end, it's not something you want to be in. Trust me, because this is going to be awkward. Coming from someone who's been in many awkward threesomes. They can be awkward, guys.
Absolutely. They're horrible.
Don't make it awkward.
They can be bad.
They can be bad. Yes.
They can be very bad.
They can be no fun.
Not fun. Not fun.
Yeah.
Not a lot of fun. So yeah, take it easy on asking for that. Just maybe just have her, consider the other side, consider the internet. Maybe have her rummage around back there, toss your salad a bit. Maybe you might surprise yourself. You might like it.
You should explore your bum. You have a G spot in there. You know that?
Yeah, there's a space back there.
Yeah. We did not help at all, did we? I'm sorry. Hopefully she is bi-curious.
Listen, yeah, it's not like, I don't even know why they make such a big deal of it in porno, but it's not like, I understand.
Butt stuff or threesomes?
Butt stuff, or threesomes for that matter. But butt stuff, they make it like it's the ultimate. It's not, it's nothing to write home to your cousins about.
I've heard that from a lot of straight men.
Yeah,
like my straight male friends are always like, yeah.
I mean, it's but it's not because it's not fun. It's just because vagina is undefeated. There's nothing better than,
I do love it.
There's nothing better. So it's like, you'd have to get really bored.
Yeah. I should call her.
Like really, really bored of everything. To like, for myself, personal taste is like, I'm not worried about it.
This man is about to tell her no butt stuff though, but yes, threesome. I don't know, man. Don't do that.
Don't do it.
I say depends on the type of girl that she is. If she's bi-curious and not the most monogamous, then I'd say be open. If she's a sex positive female, cool. If she's a very straight monogamous, don't do it. Just don't do it.
No, because then
You'll
you're
be
gonna
in
have an ex-girlfriend and not a
Yeah,
girlfriend.
exactly. She'll be like, "Oh, you want other bitches and go away." So
All right, guys. All right, we want to thank everybody that joined us today. Jose Montesinos, check out his movie. Lizzie, if you didn't already, check the comments. The movie is Chico and Rico, Animal Avengers, a really, really funny short film. Jose Montesinos, the filmmaker, was on tonight. Rosa Parra, follow her. Rosa Reviews on Twitter. At the Daily Cella, came in prompt. Cool conversation.
Yeah.
We had a bracket
Awesome
bit. We covered some tags. Go to migenteshow.com, migenteshow.podbean.com, or look for Mi Gente Show anywhere that you get your podcast, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music. Tune in with Alexa. You can say, Alexa, play Mi Gente Show. My Alexa's not working right now.
No.
But you can do that, and it'll find it for you. Samsung, Listen Notes, Boomplay, Podchaser.
Leave us some likes, good ratings. Come on, guys.
Pods.
Everything helps.
Good Pods. We're everywhere. No excuse. At Mi Gente Show, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. The Clips channel, youtube.com/at Mi Gente Show. All the good stuff.
I will say that YouTube channel, I think it's currently being, what is that called? Suppressed a little bit. So click the link straight from the YouTube if you can't find it in the search bar.
Oh yeah, because
and it's brand new and it needs more activity. So right now, it's if you search it, usually you won't find it. I've noticed. So,
but yeah, just go YouTube. Well, the YouTube is adding the @ symbol to all the channels now. So
no, even then. So I tried it from different channels and it doesn't come up for some reason. I've tried everything. I added it to the About Me section. I added it to keywords. Still not coming up. So
youtube.com, and then you have to go
watch it comes up. I hope it does, but
at Mi Gente Show. Well, I have it linked, so it should come
up. So the direct link is in the IG if you don't, so if you just go in the search bar, if you go through your 2AMB YouTube and you search it, it's not going to find it.
Even through users?
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, fix that, team.
Yeah.
We'll
get click the link, guys.
It's growing. You can still find us on all the other channels as well, but that's one of the channels. You'll be able to find us anywhere is the point. All right. We'll be back on next Tuesday. 2 shows next week before we go on vacation. So thank you everybody that's joined us. Brand new episode drops tomorrow with Andy Dukleth about her Kickstarter, and we talk a lot about news. Cool conversation. So everybody, thank you for watching, listening.
Thank you for being here.
You. Peace
Love
out.
Y'all.
Peace out.
Hasta luego.
Vamos, papá, hay que irnos. Me estoy aguantando desde que pusieron el domo.
Puedes esperar. Muchas personas trabajaron en esta película y solo quieren que te aprendas sus nombres de memoria.
Y yo quiero asegurarme de que ningún animal resultó lesionado durante la filmación de esta película.
¡Listo! ¡Uy, palomitas en el suelo!
Espera, parece que Maggie tiene algo que decir. Es su primera palabra.